is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
No, fuck that shit. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. TGIF. I know I'm excited. What about y'all? Who the hell? Already. Look, as soon as I start the stream, boom. Starts in on me. The messages bing, 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 bing. You know how that goes. Y'all know how that goes. What's going on this Friday? What do you guys think about this Rudy Farias case? I think it's a fucking mess. And we weren't even gonna, there wasn't really much to even talk about. I wasn't even gonna really go over it too much more. But before we get started today, we're about to be talking about it because yeah, this shit is so fucking messy. And there's gonna be another press conference tonight. They said at 5:00. QUANELL X is actually doubling down. Listen to my fucking bird in there. Anyhow, they were in there going off, talking about they wanted to be added to the conversation here. They had so much to say. They said this shit is a shit show. It's a shit show, mother. That's what my birds are in there saying. It would probably be like this if Summer Wells was found, and you know what I'm saying? It would be a shit show. It would be the same way, I think. Like everything would be turned into everything, you know what I mean? It would be all about family and people, you know what I mean? It would be ridiculous, just like this is right now. And QUANELL X says there's going to be another well, because the police department pretty much outright called him a liar, and he didn't like that very much. So I guess he's done a couple interviews. I got the StreamYard link pinned, so if anybody wants to come up and shoot the shit. As for right now, though, we're about to play this news clip. Hold.
First off, I guess you watched the press conference today with the Houston Police Department. What was your initial reaction when you saw it?
I believe it was a very confusing press conference. I wind up after the press conference being more confused about things involving this case. When I listened to the chief, who I do believe is a good man, who's done some good things, who's had his ups and downs, but he's a good man. I've always wanted to be truthful. For him to say, as a father himself, that no sexual abuse was reported, my problem with that, chief, is your detective sat right there with me for an hour and 15 minutes and heard every word come out of Rudy's mouth about what took place at home with his mother. He heard the young man say he was sick and tired of being treated like a slave. He was sick and tired of her crossing inappropriate boundaries.
Is that how he worded it, Rudy?
He went on to say, he said, she kept crossing boundaries that she should not cross. And it was not right. It was inappropriate. That detective sat right next to me and listened to those words. What that young man told us and described to us.
So you're doubling down with what you said yesterday.
I'm not doubling down. I'm standing straight up and standing firm, and I'm not scratching where I don't itch. But there were times he seemed mature also. There were times he seemed like he was a normal adult speaking and describing something. this BS about him being nonverbal, the man is not nonverbal. He's very articulate. So we went in and stepped out. We were standing at the door cracked. She starts badgering him about, what did you tell him? What did you tell him? If you tell him about what I did, if you tell him about the abuse, I'll kill myself. That's what she said, and several of us standing at the door heard her say it to him. We heard her tell that boy, several of us, that if he didn't change his story, she would kill herself. God is my witness, we heard her say that. Man, he's a victim. And I believe HPD with their press conference today further re-victimizes that young man. Because it's almost like they're treating him like a suspect and not a victim.
Yeah, I don't know about this. And it's really hard for me to believe that those were the words that came out of Rudy's mouth if they're not pressing any charges on the mother. And the DA said he's not pressing any charges. Then obviously it was not worded that way. As far as him saying my boundaries were crossed, that doesn't even sound like something that would, I don't even know, man. I feel like there's a lot of people that are using this for their own tragedy, pimp, and pleasures. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of different people are, yeah. And if he is a victim, then for him to, put him a towel over his head and parade him around like a damn circus, act, out to his car and back, and I just all that shit rubbed me wrong. All of it did.
You say there's no report of sexual abuse, but you won't answer the question if there was a sexual relationship. You run away from that question. I know what was said, and I'm gonna tell you something now. I got proof of what was said. I'll leave it at that for now.
Did the detectives hear her say this to Rudy?
Several of us standing there, the detectives were standing there too.
Wow.
We cracked the door.
So at this point, were you thinking
I'm being honest with you. There was two things I was thinking based on everything.
Now, if that's the case, why didn't that detective or the police take her into custody or for a 5150 when she's clearly a harm to herself and others?
That one, he was not going home or anywhere else with her. Two, they were going to call and get charges accepted. She told multiple lies. They knew she was lying.
Do you worry about Rudy's health and safety right now?
Absolutely, I do. Because I believe she's at the root of the mental problems he's having. I believe she's at the root of that young boy living in fear. She had convinced him that he had warrants out for his arrest because he ran away from home. She had convinced him to live under the assumed name because law enforcement was looking to put him in jail for running away from home. She convinced that young boy that he had warrants for his arrest, and that's how she manipulated him and exploited him and took advantage of it.
Yeah, he says it was recorded. He's got proof of it. It makes me wonder if Rudy knew he was being recorded or if he just illegally recorded it and pulled a hogs.
And then helping him give him the drugs, mushrooms, taking him to vape shops, getting high with him. She was getting high with him. Oh, brother, okay.
He's an adult. If he wants to smoke cigarettes, he can. If he wants to smoke marijuana, then he can. He's an adult. He can make his own choices. I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with anything, honestly. I just don't. There's a whole lot of shit that's being, irrelevant bullshit that's being wrapped up in this. It just, I don't even know, honestly. Really, I don't even know.
I mean,
Is there anything else you want to say?
that's it. But there's nowhere in the world you can tell me in your press conference, HPD, that she lied over and over again during this investigation. And those lies hindered an ongoing investigation to a missing person, created assumed names, and she's to be charged with nothing.
Now, I do believe that she should be arrested for wasting the police time and resources. I do believe that. I do stand on that. I stand firmly behind that because if he wasn't missing, there sure was a hell of a lot of police resources that went into looking for him. And like Texas EquiSearch, they helped. There was so many people that helped. And come to find out it was all a bunch of nonsense. Let's see. As far as the timeline goes, I mean, of course, now everybody's jumping on this now. It's just ridiculous. One of the private investigator who worked the Rudy Farias case believes resources were misused. Now that's my biggest issue with this is, they as in his mother and whoever else knew about this, wasted police resources by lying to them, saying he was missing when he wasn't.
Police and community members searched everywhere for Farias.
KPRC2's Corley Peel is at Farias' home in Northeast Harris County. Corley, you spoke with a private investigator who helped the family. What did they say?
I did, and Farias came back home just 2 days after police say he was reported missing, and the private investigator I spoke with says she couldn't believe he was right here the whole time. Hiding in plain sight. That's what detectives say Rudy Farias was doing for 8 years. His mother accused of never telling police where her son was, letting everyone believe he was a missing person.
There's a lot of people who put their heart and their soul and their time and their efforts into getting answers when I feel like we've been duped by her the whole time.
Brenda Paradise was a private investigator on this case, working with the nonprofit We Help the Missing. She says volunteers searched through wooded areas, exhausting efforts trying to find Farias.
Some of those resources we have to pay out of our own pockets for. So, as volunteers, we're willing to do that for families of the missing. And that's part of the heartbreak in all this, is that so many resources were just misused.
Paradise says Farias' mother's stories.
Yeah, her story doesn't make any sense. It hasn't made any sense from the damn beginning. As soon as if you go back and listen, her story don't make a lick of sense. Not only that, though, she was like tagging other missing parents, and she was telling these other missing parents that she was hanging up flyers, that she was traveling around the country to hang flyers of their children, and they were hanging flyers of Rudy, and she had other missing parents on the lookout for him. Let's see. Be Happy said, so we are supposed to believe a detective put his career on the line and lied and allowed a person who committed crimes to go free? For what? If the DA declines to file charges, the police's hands are tied. Exactly. The police can't do anything. Why would they arrest the mother when there's no charge? The DA said he's not going to press charges. Where's the protesters? Where's the protesters? Why are they not out here protesting? Why are they not out here heckling?
Never seemed to add up.
I'm lost with this one as to whether, somebody's got it hidden somewhere or whether he just, or whether maybe mom was involved.
Eventually, search efforts were stopped. Farias continued living his life, but as someone else that neighbors knew as Dolph.
We would sit and talk about jobs. I'm like, my job higher and I could get you on. He like, nah, I'm good. He like, I like my job. I get paid more and I'm getting paid on the table.
Feel like it still doesn't add up.
Farias may no longer be hiding, but details about the past 8 years remain a mystery.
Well, I don't really think they remain a mystery. If he was there and hiding around, or he was there under a different name, then why, you know what I mean? Why would, oh man. Lex. Tonight at her house. Tina, what's up? Do you want to come up here, baby? You can click the link. Just pause your YouTube. You know a lot about this, so if you'd like to come up and chat, you're welcome to do so. I mean, actually, anybody has the links pinned, so anybody's welcome to come up, but please no Keisha today. Well, let's see here. Pimps won't go after any grifters. Well, and you know what? This lady, I don't know, just like I said, in my opinion, she seems like that's, kind of what was going on here. But I mean, her GoFundMe was like $2,000. It wasn't a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, $2,000 is a lot for a person that's not missing, but I'm just saying she didn't get like 20,000 or 30,000 or, not nowhere near like that. But still, to take it and run off with it is bullshit. She shouldn't be doing that either. That's.
And Texas EquiSearch also helped try and find Farias. And I spoke with Tim Miller on the phone this afternoon. He says it's a shame that he was never actually missing, but he says that's a risk they will always take. Reporting live in Northeast Harris County, Corley Peel, KPRC 2 News.
Investigation of Rudy Farias. But before I do that, I want to address our dash cam news that's been in the news.
Yeah, because dash cam's more important than someone that's missing but not missing. I mean, I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? So much of it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know. And we're so fucking nosy over here. We dig and dive into everything. And I do mean everything. So I'm surprised that this lasted this long, that it went on as long as it did. Because normally they don't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't go on this long. Also, Winter Smith, I don't know if you guys, like a lot of y'all probably already know, they found her little body. The man was arrested, but he wasn't given any details. He wasn't saying where she was or what he did with her or anything like that. So they were looking on his route, like following his route. They actually found her. So, I was going to say, Tina, if you want to come up, you're welcome to. If not, I'm just going to keep on. I'm just going to go ahead and move on with other stuff. Yeah, I believe it happens more than we know. Yep. Look at all the missing children with no photos. I pray everything works out for Rudy. Yeah, I agree. In my opinion, Ellie is more concerned with money and dash cams than getting to the truth and possibly charging the mother. Do you guys think they'll charge the mom? I think if people throw a big enough fit, they will. I really do. Until then, though, no, I don't. All right. The cops seem more worried about the dash cams. Yeah. They did. That's a lot. Was a lot of what they talked about. That was a lot of what they talked about. Oh, hey, love. Hey, how you doing, love?
I'm good. I'm better today. I'm not so crazy. Sorry about the other day.
Well, no, but you know what? When you're, you wasn't crazy anyways. You were just emotional, and it takes a lot when you get wrapped up in these cases. You know what I mean? Our emotions and your heart and everything gets wrapped up in it. And you knew her. You met her. You went and actually physically met her. You talked to her. I would be devastated if I was in that position too.
Yeah. Yeah. So the reason why it kept going, though, let me explain that a little bit better. We kept going to, I know it's going to be a little weird to explain, but let me explain a little thing here. We have they have events like when people go missing and it's for long periods of time. They have things called, like, this was for Missing Person Day. Do you have that video?
They have, I have the, you want me to, I was just going to ask you, do you want me, oh, I think you got a little bit of feedback, or maybe it's me. Did you pause?
Yeah, I paused my YouTube. There's nothing right here with me. So, and I don't have my earphones. So,
okay. I'm hearing my background and it's really bad.
Is that any better?
No. So I don't have to listen to myself repeat. I'm going to mute you real quick, but will you drop down and try to close everything out? Go into your tabs and make sure everything is closed, because I can just hear myself talking back to me. So we're not going to be able to have a conversation like that. Try to drop down and pop back up. See if that'll help a little bit. Try to close all your tabs out, everything, because the echo's too bad. I won't be able to have a conversation with you like that, love. So try to go in and make sure all your tabs are closed out. Like if you go up to the right hand corner and it says 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you need to click that, because that means you have 7 tabs open. So you need to go through and close all those tabs, and either pause YouTube or shut it off or shut it down. My YouTube actually on my new phone will continue to keep playing, but on my old phone it will not. So maybe I don't know if that's what's going on or what, but there we go. Let's try again, baby. Because the first time you came up, you were great.
Okay, how am I doing now?
Yep. I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all yet. Not at all. Nope.
Okay, good. So what's confusing probably is that you guys think that, like, they did the initial search for him, and then what happens is she kept coming to events. Like, well, I know where I met her was in 2017. So this is 2 years after he went missing. She came out and met me with Amber. Brenda, the one you just showed, she was actually the very first private investigator on the case. She is not the one that cursed out that lady. I would like to get that out of the way really quickly. She did not curse that lady out. Pauline. Remember the other day? Well, it was yesterday. My days are running together, but she said that the first PI. Sorry. That the first PI had cursed her out and she wants to talk to her. That wasn't Brenda. Just so everybody knows.
You need to pull the video up where you're talking to the police chief.
Oh, well, that's on the alley case. You can pull that up at the end, but or you can pull it up so people know I'm really nuts about my missing cases. Whatever you want to do.
Well, it's up to you, baby. I thought that's what you were asking me to pull up. What were you wanting me to pull?
That what I wanted you to show. What I want you to show them is that where she was still coming to events, saying her child was still missing, and then mingling with other parents.
Okay, and then she had her, is it her brother or somebody at the event?
Yeah.
Okay,
So she had her brother there, and he's talking for her. And listen, guys, when you're listening to this, they didn't even know how old the kid was. There was an age discrepancy from the get-go. She didn't even know what year her child was born. Like, she couldn't even provide a birth certificate. So the whole thing was wank from the beginning, like Brenda was saying. But yeah, that's how I met her, is at this event that she's about to play the video at. And she recorded this, so she was there. This is straight off of her Facebook. Kate the Great, Brenda is the PI.
Oh, I was searching YouTube. You said Facebook is where it's from. It's on Facebook?
No, I sent you the link.
Oh, that's what I thought. I was looking in my, hold on, I'll send it to myself.
Okay. I was trying to, is this the case you discussed? Yes. Elise, Elsie, yes, it's the case. But I'm calm today. At Cheek, nobody ever provides a birth certificate to any of us. However, there was an age discrepancy from the get-go on Rudy from the mother, and the family was saying a different age. Anyways, the detective had to go to the school to get his correct age. Yes, she's been married several times. Glenda. Oh, you're welcome.
And it's pretty tragic. So that's what had him head up the project, to just bring awareness to that. Rudy was between 17 and 18 years old. He's been missing since March 6th of 2015. He was out walking his dogs when he came up missing. He'd be about 20 years old now. He had brown hair, brown eyes, 5'8", about 200 pounds. His father was former HPD officer, Rudy Farias III. He got lost as well. So you can imagine, with the loss of his father, the loss of his brother, some of the things that this young man was having to deal with.
Hey, Queen, can you stop it for just 1 second? Okay, you guys, I want to tell you something. The father was already remarried to somebody else. She played on this like the father had just killed himself, like they had been together. They weren't even together. He was remarried to someone else. Like, so we'll just leave it at that.
Oh, wow.
So the brother had a life insurance policy, okay? And Rudy is the beneficiary. Okay. The brother was in his, 21 maybe? I did the math last night, and forgive me, I don't have it right here. However, the kid, he was a kid. He graduated in 2007. So, okay, 18. Okay, maybe he was 22. I don't know. But bottom line is, he had a life insurance policy. I don't know. My son never bought a life insurance policy on himself at 22 years old, guys. Kind of weird to me. And made his brother the beneficiary. God, please don't let this be the case. And I don't even want to speak it, but I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. Her son dies, and she's the first to the scene. I confirmed last night with another lady. She also was told by Janie that she was first to the scene before the police. Her and Rudy were first there. Okay. So that's weird. And now I'm finding out that she was first to the scene at the church. That's why there was no ambulance there whenever she got there. I can't make this shit up. I mean, this woman is crazy. So right now he's standing in front of these people. There's police officers there. I think the chief is there. Tim Miller is right there. in front of him. This takes months to build where he's at talking, okay? And Allie Lowitzer's mom sets this up every year. It's once a year. And then there's, I think, 7 or 8 other families there. So he's talking and going to give you the sob story of this situation. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I got off a little bit.
No, that's all right. I'm going to have you mute because we're echoing again real bad.
I mean, a lot of y'all can understand what we're dealing with is our family, because unfortunately you guys are going through the exact same thing, and we wish that on no one. You know, I can only imagine, you know, the pain and anguish that his mother goes through, just the simple fact that she doesn't know his condition, his health, his state, where he's at, what he's up to, if he's okay or not. And I couldn't imagine carrying a burden like that for myself. It's one of those. It's just it's a tough thing that I wish personally no one had to go through. Just trying to look at some notes here. You know, the one thing that we're thankful for as family and friends of family is that he had the support during the loss of his brother and his father. So we were there to support him as best as we could. Again, not knowing where he's at, his condition, anything like that, really, you know, it's a struggle for us as it is for all of you here today. You know, we're grateful to see the wonderful support that's out. This is my first year here, so I thank you very much. You know, Tim Miller, officers, Dr. Officer, we greatly appreciate everything that you guys do to carry on the support. The one thing that I would like to just say is, you know, I agree with Tim. It's a wonderful city that we live in. I mean, it is a great city. I would like to see more support out there. Again, this is my first year, so I'm still getting involved. I'm sure what Andy has said that there is a lot of support out there, and I feel that from previous speakers as well. For myself, I guess I would just like to have some answers, just as everyone in this area would. So it's the struggle. I would like to see more efforts, you know, again, nationally, worldwide for that matter. I mean, this happens more than you can think of in a single day, and it amazes me that that we can allow something like this to happen. And you know, to be honest, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing on my part. We should all be embarrassed. It's allowed, but hopefully we can pull together. You know, I ask for city officials, the state of Texas, anybody that has the ability to be able to assist, to please step up and help. You know, help these families with their endeavors to find their loved ones. I mean, I'm sure everybody just wants to either have their loved one brought home, regardless of health, condition, their situation, their state of mind. If nothing else, just some sort of closure to be able to have that, to be able to have that peace, where we can give them, you know, a time of peace, a time to heal, a time of understanding, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation that they're returning. But I would like to thank everyone that's here for your support. It means a lot. I feel honored that I was asked to come up and speak on our behalf. So thank you for everyone that's out here that spent your time, that's giving up your time. I can say, not only for, again, the authorities, the state of Texas and everything else, we ourselves, we're not powerless. I mean, we can stand up together, and any effort that we can assist other families with in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it's appreciated. You know, whether it's a prayer, whether it's a kind word, whether it's a hug, give that to these people that need it. You know, I mean, build them up. You know, pray for them. We thank you so much for everything that's been done for us, from our friends and our family. You know, we thank you for the blessings and the prayers and everything that we've been given. On our behalf, I can say, in return, we pray for everyone here and pray for your families. And we pray that someday you'll have closure, just the same way we hope that we will have closure. So we thank you so much for that. Again, thank you so much for being out here. I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Santanas, the Sanchez, and the Farias. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how that went.
So that's her brother. Okay,
Yep.
hold on. I gotta mute you when I talk because the feedback is so bad. It's really bad. I don't know why it's so bad, but now you're gone. But yeah, the feedback was terrible. We can't have a conversation like that. It's just the feedback is awful. But anyhow, that's her brother that she claims is her brother, but he's really not her brother. he did actually send a message to someone to tell them that he had information about Rudy, and he actually got into a car accident and was passed away, I believe. Yeah, so that's just she's seems to be very manipulative, basically saying she was with the husband. Now, see, okay, I didn't follow this from day one. So as I'm listening, I heard, her husband passed away. He unalived himself in front of the precinct that he worked at. The brother passed away in an accident, a motorcycle accident. So, okay, baby, just come up whenever you're ready. I keep an open link, so it should be pinned and posted. Anybody's welcome to come up whenever they want to. My little crew must be busy today because I haven't seen voices in here. I haven't seen B Tim in here, but I didn't let anybody know either. I just turned it on and flipped it on and said, here, we're having a TGIF Friday live because this is insane. This is crazy to me. Seems like a bunch of bullshit, and I don't like it. Yeah, the guy talking passed away in an accident, a car accident, motorcycle accident, something like that. The dad, Rudy's dad, who unalived himself in front of the police station in his cruiser. Actually, him and Janie were not together. From my understanding, Tina just said that he was already remarried. So he was, they had split up and he was already with someone else when this happened. So, here I was thinking that her and this guy had been together and he unalived himself and then she lost her son and then Rudy ran away. So, I mean, I was really giving her the benefit of the doubt, because when somebody goes through something traumatic like that and continues to go through traumatic events after traumatic events, you know what I mean? You try to, you try to give them, give them grace. And I think a lot of people gave her grace where they shouldn't have. And now they're, really upset because they trusted and believed what she was saying, and they're looking for they believe they're looking for a missing Rudy. And actually the whole time he's there, and she's going to these events. She's talking to parents who have missing children who have been dealing with this, and it's awful. That's one of the worst things in life you could ever go through. That's what I think in my book. That would be one of the worst things to go through in life. To carry your daughter, your son, 9 months, raise them, take care of them. You pour your love and your heart, your soul into this baby, and someone takes the child, or they murder this child, or, missing and murdered children that's the worst thing somebody can go through. And that's why it hurts my heart so much. To see families get attacked, or mothers of missing and murdered children get attacked because they're already going through something horrific in life. And I just don't feel like I don't feel like that's okay. Now, if they hurt the child, they murder the child, anything like that, of course they deserve what they have coming. I mean, that's a different circumstance than what I'm saying. Now, see, people like Letitia Stout, she was arrested 3 months after the fact. Gannon went missing, or was murdered in January 27th, and she was arrested March 2nd. So that was pretty quick. Now you look at Summer Wells' mom and Candace, everybody says she's guilty. They have said for so long, she's guilty, she's guilty, she's guilty. She did something, she did something, she did something. It's been 2 years. And she has still not been arrested for anything. So I just feel like, I understand, like, we were talking yesterday, you have to have a villain in the story. There has to be a bad guy somewhere. You have to have somebody to blame. I'll be still. And I did get your picture, and I just want to say your son is so handsome, and I'm so sorry for the things that you went through, and you said you was attacked in many ways. I'm so sorry that you were. You don't deserve that. No mother of a missing child deserves that at all, ever. If they, and if they did that, if they did hurt their baby, or they did murder their baby, put the motherfuckers under the jail. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, the Delphi case, and that was, now see, that goes, now look right there. You know what? That just goes to show how you can get, what is that called? Where you're you're focused on one person and one person only. And you, oh, damn it. What am I'm having a brain fart here. It's, where you basically hyper focus on one person and it's not that person. Turns out to be, it wasn't that person and didn't have anything to do. That person didn't even have much to even do with it. Like the Delphi case, when the neighbor Ron got blamed, or they were found on his property and he had a suspended license, so he lied to the police about driving his truck, and people went after him. So it was crazy. They went after him relentlessly, and he didn't have anything to do with it. Nothing. Tunnel vision, that's what it is. People get tunnel vision. Yeah, you get tunnel vision and hyper focused on one person, and you think that's the that's the suspect, and come to find out it's not. Just like with him, Ron, they thought Ron was the suspect for a long time. Come to find out it was the pharmacy tech that's been working and filling their medications and saying hi to him every single day, or every other day, once a month at the least, getting prescriptions filled. Now, if that doesn't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what does. Because that's he working in the grocery store. Hi, how you doing? See him all the time, just like a normal. Wow. Well, that's another thing too. Like with mothers who have other children, you have to, like you said, be still. I had to stay sane for my other son. You do. You just. And it's hard. It's very hard. Now, see, like some of these, I was listening to, okay, so I don't know if you guys watch Grizzly True Crime, but I listened to her. I really like her channel. I like her a lot. She, so I was listening to her, and she's been going over the Letitia Gannon Stouch from, let's see here. Well, she went over it. So anyhow, I was going through her stuff, or listening to her stuff when she was talking on here. And I'm going to tell you something. The way she talked to him like it wasn't nothing, it just blew the hell out of my mind. She was so shitty with him, and she killed his son the whole time. Hey, baby. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I sure can now. Can you hear me?
I finally am wanting to go on panel and nothing's working. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I said it's AT&T. Can you hear me? You obviously cannot hear me.
Let's see if this works.
So, okay, so obviously you can't hear me, but that's all right.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I'll have to
do this. Oh, you can't?
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was like, fuck it, we're just going to roll with it. Oh, and she's gone. You yeeted yourself again, Tina. Get on the panel, Tina. What the hell? Okay, let's see. Anyhow, the Grizzly True Crime was oh my God, you guys. Lord, look at this. It's a Friday. Girl, we ain't even left. Shit, Leo, we ain't even went no camping. Girl, we ain't even fucking left yet. Shit. We was supposed to take off today. Matter of fact, we'll probably end up waiting and going this weekend. I don't even know. Honestly, I really don't know. Speaking of, I'm about to go drop it like it's hot Monday on the attorney. So you guys let me know if there's anything you want to send or anything. We got the weekend. So we got to get it in. Also, just a fun fact, when you're in a litigation or pending litigation, you're not supposed to delete your streams. You're supposed to leave those up. You know, just a little advice. Yes, Brianna, they do. All the time. There was that one. Okay, so there was a case. I'm not sure what. You gotta love those fun facts. They come in handy sometimes. A little FYI, if you will. You know. The Border Patrol guy that killed his mistress and 18-month-old son was found guilty. Really? See, I haven't seen that. I know there's some other stuff going on. I'm waiting on Tina to get her little tail feather back up here. But anyhow, when Letitia was talking to Gannon's dad, I was just like, I couldn't believe the way she talked to him. Who are you with? What are you doing? Where are you at? Like, she was just nonstop on his ass. And I'm thinking, you just murdered his child. Hey, girl.
Hey, we'll try it one more time.
Okay. I think we got it this time.
Okay.
Sounds like we did.
All right. We'll try to run with it. We're probably off topic. We're not going to go back to it, which is fine. But I mean, if y'all want to, then I just.
Oh, you just cut out on me again.
What the hell? No, I'm here.
Okay. You cut now. I don't know if you're grabbing the mic. Oh, fuck. I hear myself again.
Maybe it's you.
You know what? I don't know. Let me go out and come back in. It might be me. Shit. Let me try it.
Okay. Do you guys hear me? I mean, how am I sounding? Am I echoing? Hi, guys. Am I echoing? Yeah. Well, I'm up here, so I guess I'll just run the shit. Oh, she's back.
Okay. Yes, I was trying it out, seeing if it was me.
Well, is it you?
I don't know. I don't hear the feedback anymore, so it must have been.
Well, good. I'm glad I told you to just jump down.
Julie said clear as a bell. So wham,
Good.
bam, man, it was me.
Got it. Yeah, were you the whole damn time? I'm over here trying to get shit done, and you're up there, and
I am fucking cracking up. Okay, well, thank you for working with me.
Sure. I've lost the whole concept of what the hell I came up to talk about. Glenda,
sorry.
Glenda, none of her husbands have come forward. No.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Basically, where she said that her husband was that the guy that killed himself was her husband, but they hadn't been together at all, or they had
no, they had married and stuff, but they didn't. No, she was already remarried. By the time she got to me, guys, she had already ran through so many other people, like Brenda Paradise. Brenda doesn't put up people's shit. That's number one. She don't play games. So she just runs real quick. But Amber Kamak, the one that told me to watch out for, Amber will just stay on people that she knows is lying. She's like a pit bull. Sorry. She's like a pit bull. And when she knows you're lying, she's going to do shit. She was going to get that guy, Jerry, her brother. She was going to get him to tell her the truth. one way or another. Amber is really good at that.
Okay, hold on. You say Amber and Brenda, but wait.
Okay.
The one I
Brenda,
showed on the screen.
Okay, Brenda is the PI, the very first PI.
Okay,
the one that was on News Nation. Amber Kamak is a very
okay.
Whoa, sorry. Amber Kamak.
Feedback, whatever it is.
It's gone. It's gone. I had unplugged my computer.
Oh yeah, it's still coming through.
I'll be right back.
I don't know what the fuck. I think you need to try to close out all your tabs and anything you have open, because it only does that when you have other tabs open. I don't know why. It's thank you so much for doxing my Cash App, baby. I appreciate you. Thank you, love. And don't say on here, I hope this is enough. It's perfect. Whatever. Don't you say that, because I appreciate it no matter what it is. And don't say on here, I hope this is enough. Yep, feedback. Oh, well, it's all right. It's okay. I'll mute. You go ahead and talk.
I'm back. How are we doing?
Got bad feedback.
Why don't you drop down? Because they were saying they could hear me and there was no echo. So I wonder if it's you. I can't see him right now because I shut my phone down, my other phone down real quick. Will you look and see what they say? Am I?
Yeah, it was echoing. I can still hear it. Wait, actually now it's finally gone. It seems like you're not muted either, right?
No.
Okay.
Not muted.
That's why I said there's something open, like I don't know if it's like one of your tabs or what, but it's like, I think it's just because every time when you open a new tab, something's playing like in the background or something.
I don't know what it could be.
And I don't have anything else open. I only have this, so I know it ain't me. But I can stay muted while you talk, and then when I talk, you can mute.
Everybody's saying they don't hear it. That's so weird. Okay, so I sound good. How does Queen sound?
That's why I said I'll just stay muted when you talk, and you stay muted when I talk. We'll be all right.
Okay, so that person right there, that's Brenda Paradise. She is the very first private investigator that was on the scene from day 2. They hired her the day that he came home. This is how screwed up this stuff is, okay?
And she didn't figure it out?
She's the one you just heard saying that she couldn't get... You can play it.
Police where her son was, letting everyone believe he was a missing person.
There's a lot of people who put their heart and their soul and their time and their efforts into getting answers when I feel like we've been duped by her the whole time.
Brenda Paradise was a private investigator on this case, working with the nonprofit We Help the Missing. She says volunteers searched through wooded areas, exhausting efforts trying to find Farias.
Some of those resources we have to pay out of our own pockets for. So, as volunteers.
So she was duped too as a private investigator. That's what I was asking. I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she's going to tell you.
Oh, I'll finish playing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, finish playing it. I think this is the one where she gives a tip away that she's trying to say something. Go ahead and play it. I think this is the one. You'd be amazed at what Janie had people do. Anyway, go ahead.
Families have been missing, and that's part of the heartbreak in all this, is that so many resources were just misused.
Paradise says Farias' mother's stories never seem to add up.
I'm lost with this one as to whether somebody's got it hidden somewhere, or whether he just or whether maybe mom was involved.
Eventually, search efforts were stopped. Farias continued living his life, but as someone else that neighbors knew as Dolph.
We would sit and talk about jobs. I'm like, my job higher and I can get you on. He like, nah, I'm good. He like, I like my job. I get paid more and I'm getting paid on the table.
Feel like it still doesn't add up.
Farias may no longer be hiding, but details about the past 8 years remain a mystery. And Texas EquiSearch also helped try and find Farias.
Okay, you can turn it off.
This afternoon, he says it's a shame that he was never actually missing, but he said.
Yeah, I was waiting on her to say it's a shame that he was never actually missing, because she says it right there at the end that he was never actually missing.
Yeah, they had to hire somebody. She said that he was in Mexico, and so they had to get resources to go to Mexico. She really did a lot of damage. She cost a lot of money. I'm gonna find that so you guys can see. She explains it, but she cost money. I hope she pays for it one day. Because you can get our services if you need them for free. But if you do something like this, and you didn't need the services, I don't think that's cool at all.
No, it's not.
Like a morgue in Los Angeles, her and her sister flew there, seeing if it was him, you guys. She's sick.
They flew?
Yeah, you guys, I have a picture on her page of a dead, no, he was not dead. I'm sorry, excuse me. He was on a ventilator and he's in LA. And I mean, let me go get this picture. I'll be back.
I don't know. This shit's fucking nuts to me. Hold on. Tim Miller did sue Casey Anthony for over 100,000. Yeah. See, you know what? That's crazy as hell. That's, it really is. It really is. Now, see, his daughter, there was a big thing going on too, where his daughter, the killing fields, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Either yesterday or the day before, we were talking about it. Oh, I love that. I stand with heels in the air. I just love her. Anyhow, the killing fields. Yeah, Tim is what we were talking about. I just love heels in the air. So it caught me off guard when you came in here with that. Oh, hey, what's up, love? You want your camera on or you want it off, baby? Here, I'll flip this screen up just in case so I can pull you up here to see what you say. Hey, love, do you want your camera on or off?
Off, please.
Okay, you got to do it on your side, baby. Tap your screen
Okay.
and then look down at the mic. There's a mic and a camera button. There you go. Perfect.
I got you now. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. It's off.
Hi.
No problem.
Hi.
How are you,
Hi,
love?
Queen. How you doing? Sending love
Good.
from Philadelphia. Water ice and cheesesteaks.
Yes.
This case is like every time you turn around, it's something else. I mean,
I was gonna say it's so confusing. It's like every time you turn around, there's something new, something crazy.
We hear about that. I guess there was one of the aunts yesterday said the press conference that the woman's father sexually molested her when she was younger. I mean, it's like like a soap opera. It just keeps going and going, and this poor kid is the innocent victim in all this.
Right. And that's so when I heard about the dad, and then they're like, oh, he unalived himself in front of the precinct, that he did the, in front of the jail in his outfit, right. And I'm like, over a investigation, internal affairs investigation. So that leads your mind to think, what the fuck did he do? To have an internal affairs investigation. Not only that, to take his own life over that situation. What the fuck is going on, and then you hear about her son who passed away in an accident. Then you hear about the brother, Jerry, who died in a motorcycle accident, just like her son. Then you turn around and they're like, oh, this person. Now the sisters are coming out and saying they were essayed by the father. And then I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know what I mean? It's just one thing after another, after another, after another. I'm like, this is crazy.
And I totally agree with you about the life insurance. Like, who at 21 years old, you're not even death is the last thing on your mind. That was really odd. And he was actually signed up to go into the Marines a month later, but a month before he was killed. I read this last night on the internet. And because somebody was complaining on one of the Facebook groups that, why was he treated like a Marine, or she was treated like a Marine, like a wounded, an injured, an injured soldier's mother or something. I guess they gave her kind of like the courtesy at the funeral and stuff for the son. But I think like with,
it's
with that QUANELL X, like I first heard of him through the Malia Davis case. It's like in Texas, in Houston, he kind of is like a public advocate. But I think he did bring more attention to the case by getting involved. I mean, is he credible?
I
I'm
do
not
too.
sure.
But then, it comes out that, if he wouldn't have came out and said what he said and did what he did, I don't think there would have been near as much attention drawn to it at all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people would have gave a shit.
Absolutely. Because nobody really cared but local, Houston people. And the thing is
now that now that everything's come out, people are glued to this story like you wouldn't believe. The views have shot through the roof.
I'm one of the people. I can't get enough of it. I keep refreshing.
Yeah, I'm serious.
So I was like, I had to call in.
You're stuck to it. You're just stuck. You know what I mean? You're just like, what the hell's going to happen next?
Yeah, it's a shame though. But I mean, those are big allegations to make. Now, from the press conference that I saw with the police yesterday, apparently in Texas, you're considered an adult at 17. Now, this is what I'm just saying. My husband is in law enforcement, and sometimes things are not even worth the aggravation. I mean, they may look at it, and I'm not saying by any means this is the situation, but maybe Rudy kept changing his story because the mother did brainwash him. She did, hold him against his will, whatever she did, sexually or whatever. But maybe he said, no, my mother didn't do anything. He's scared he's going to lose his mother. Like they said, that Stockholm syndrome. However, then when he talked to QUANELL, he felt comfortable that he could tell the truth. But then when he wanted to go home with QUANELL, and QUANELL said, no, I can't take you home. He wanted to go home with anybody. And they said, no, you're going to have to go home with your mother. Like the police might have been looking like mom and the son both nuts, because now he's an adult. And even at 17, when he was reported missing, he was technically looked at as an adult in Texas. This is what they said during the press conference. So it's almost like maybe they couldn't get, I mean, I'm just assuming, as you may, maybe they couldn't get a straight story. He kept conflicting, giving back on the statements, yeah, she did this, or no, she didn't do this. But it's the drugs, and she's just a weird woman. And then on Facebook, did you see all these accounts that she has? This mother has there's this girl, what the hell is her name?
She's got 15, 20, something like that. It's insane.
But yes. So I just, wanted to, I'm definitely with you on this. I'm engrossed in it, but I'm a new subscriber. I love it. I kind of actually found you through believe it or not, Molly Golightly and all those guys. So I found a mutual. And
You're like,
funny
oh God.
wait, and as funny as this sounds, my husband's like, "You're nuts with this YouTube, with these, this crime, the crime community, right?" Well, I told you my husband's a police officer. Well, one day he's like, "What's the name of that lady you like on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Molly." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm working with her cousin here, literally," and she has always like bragged that her cousin is a police officer in Philadelphia, where my husband's a cop, and here they were working a Puerto Rican Day parade detail together. He's like, "I'm with her cousin." I'm like, "Oh my God, of all people."
Like, oh Lord.
And he was like telling my husband, he's like, "She makes a shitload of money, blah, blah, blah." My husband's like, "I thought my wife was nuts listening to these YouTube, because you really get into this. Like, these are friends in my head."
Right. Like, it's hard to explain. It is so hard to explain YouTube to people. Like,
absolutely,
no idea how crazy it sounds when when you're telling somebody about it.
They're like, "Okay." But
Yeah, especially with this crazy lawsuit.
I know. Well, if you need a police escort anywhere on the East Coast, I got you. Okay.
Oh, thank you, love. I appreciate that.
And again, thank you. I enjoy your chats. I look forward to it at night. I'm going to be sad when you go camping because
I know. Well, you know what? Look, we've been dealing with stuff already, anyways, and it just stormed here real bad, and one of mine is sunburned really bad. She went on vacation and she comes back tonight, but she's got a real bad sunburn. So I don't know that we're going to even leave tonight. It might be this, like I said, over the weekend and a couple days into the week. I don't know yet. We gotta get it together.
Yeah. But we'll be all in Queen
together. So
we'll be in B withdrawal. We'll be
well, that's I'm gonna try to take my phone with me and like my stuff with me, and we'll see. You know what I mean? I'll see if I can pop on for a little bit and just say, hey,
Sounds good. But thank you again. And like I said, sending love, cheesesteaks and water ice from Philadelphia.
That's right. Thank you, love.
AKA Philadelphia. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Brianna says here, we are a Don Henley song. We want dirty laundry. The more salacious the dirty details, the more interested we are. And all it costs is Rudy's privacy. Yep. That's so true. So true. You need to get away. I've got you, girl. I just asked for some good cooking for a couple days. You know what? Let me tell you something. I'll tell you right now. Look, camping, I don't even give a shit. Hillbilly camping is the best. Look, I'll tell you what. I didn't even know that you could make these little pie things. Like, there's so many different things that my family, that I say she, but anyhow, that they come up with. But hold on, just Samantha, I hope you felt welcome in my chat last night. I appreciate you be willing to hear both sides. Yeah, just Samantha, Burnt Toast. She comes over here quite a bit. She's over here. She stays over here quite a bit. Hold on, let's see here. Last night, my hubby said, start your own channel. Probably sick of hearing about these YouTube streets. Shit, Nessie B, you're like, yeah, right. The way these people are fucking, the way these ridiculous people are. Okay, so look, these little pies, so they have like these little metal, it's like two little metal things, right? It's little holders, and she puts this pie crust in there. Like you buy like the pie crust or whatever, and she unrolls it, like makes it perfect, sticks it in there, and then she puts like whatever you want, apples, cherries, whatever you want inside of it. She'll pour it in there, and then once you press these the two metal things together, it makes like almost like a like a hot pocket, but it's like a fruit pie pocket kind of. Anyhow, though, you put it in the fire and flip it, rotate it, let it cook. You know what I mean? And pull it out, and I'll tell you right now, it is the stinking bomb. She also does that, like my kids, they love the cones, where you put the cones and the marshmallows and the chocolate chips and stuff, and then you wrap it in aluminum foil and put it on the fire. Yes, and you know what, Burns Host, your stream was awesome last night. You did a good job, babe. You did a good job. Let me see. You're talking about fried pies. That's a Southern tradition. Look, I'll tell you right now that over the campfire, it was the bomb. look, when she gets up and we do we got a bunch of cast iron skillets. So you can like breakfast on the campfire is the fucking bomb. Eggs and bacon, sausage, toast, you know, like that kind of we can't have really like toast, you know what I mean? But we make do, you know what I mean? We make do. But see, we're not like we got like camping, you know, like we got like campers, like we're not tent camping. So a lot of the time we cheat, you know what I'm saying? It's not like real camping, I guess. You can't say it's like real camping, you know? But it's still fun. I still fucks with it. I like it. It's, you know what I mean? I like to go, we got little paddle boats and some kayaks. We bought these cheap ass paddle boats. And I'll tell you what, they are the best. I'll tell you what, these kayaks have been like a really good investment too, because they're really fun. We got like 6 of them. We get out there on the water and just have us a fucking blast. Smoke them if you got them. We turn on our music, turn on your phone. You know what I mean? I always put everything in plastic baggies just in case. When I was younger, my dad would take us on the river and down in the canoe and shit. And we would be like just going down the river and this fucker would flip us over in the canoe. Oh my God. It used to piss me right off. And he'd do it just to have fun with us or throw us off because we had our life jackets. He'd throw us off and make us swim back. That's how I learned how to swim, was being thrown off the boat and having to swim back. Yeah, kayaking's fun. It is fun. I'll tell you what, we have a freaking blast. And a lot of the, like, you can see Boston doing it. Boston and his boot drinking. Yeah, Laura Lee, that's just what it was. And you know what? My dad used to go hand fishing. There was some people call it noodling. But, he would go down and he would go like way down into the bottoms and stuff, like where he sank the barrels. What's up, B Tim?
What's up? How's things going?
Happy Friday, bud. What you doing?
Not so much. Just finished work. The usual when you have to have a job, unlike certain YouTubers out there. Betty.
I was going to say, I'm taking offense to that.
No. This is a job. But, yeah, I mean, what did you think of that whole situation? Do you believe that guy? I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to believe at this point, because there's Grizzly Hood News, and then there's QUANELL X, and then there's the mother, and then there's the family.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's like a shit show. I mean, like, honestly, I think
huge shit show.
I mean, like, honestly, the guy was wrong to even fucking say that to the press conference.
Yes, I thought that was definitely like a blatant, you know.
I can hear him.
Can you hear us okay? Like a blatant, like, you know, disrespecting his privacy right off the jump.
I mean, like, how you doing, guys? If you're counseling someone or you're trying to be like a victim advocate, how the fuck are you going to go out there and be like, hey, I'm going to tell everyone about everything you just told me in confidentiality? I mean, like, what the fuck?
Yes, in private, and then wonder why he's denying it and say it ain't true. Well, fuck, you just embarrassed the shit out of him, you know? I mean...
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. And then the guy goes, what does he do? He jumps on, he goes on the fucking biggest shill on News Nation, I think it is, on Cuomo. Fucking guy interviews almost every single, I feel like that's his new job. He just interviews random fucking YouTubers and random people that just do stupid shit in a true crime case. Like, they're just like interviewing everyone. Like, he interviewed T-Reb, I think. He interviewed fucking... what's that girl's name? I'm trying to remember.
Dolly, JLR.
Also the girl from that used to hang out with Betty and everyone.
Olivia.
Like, he just interviews everyone. Now he's interviewing this guy. It's like, what the fuck? And the guy puts on a suit, and it's just like,
Well,
the
okay,
cop-
QUANELL X is he's an activist. He dresses up to the T's. Like here.
I get it, but man, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, this is a kid. This is not a kid, but you know, like, a young adult. Let's just say a young adult that came to you in confidence, and instead of you working to, like, you know, maybe like help him get out of that environment. Because I didn't hear anything about him. Like, he just took him to a fucking car and says, "Hey, we're 10 minutes in the car," and then took him back to his mom. He didn't say, "Listen, let me see if I can get you a place to stay away from your house."
Right.
Maybe like keep this in confidentiality, wait until the cops work with the police. Nope, he's just like, he throws this poor motherfucker to the wolves, has blood in the water, literally sets blood in the water. Now everyone's talking about it. And it's just like complete fucking disregard for the cops, disregard for the investigation, disregard for everything. Now, when it came to like the police department, do I think they're fucking lying? I think they probably are embarrassed. I think they're fucking completely keeping their mouth shut, because I think that the officers there probably fucked up and somehow to let this guy in this room. I think I think they're embarrassed. By the way, hi there, whoever's on the panel.
Tina.
Tina. How you doing, Tina? Sorry I talked too much.
She was friends with Janie, the mother. Yeah. So she was pretty upset when she found out she was lying and scamming this whole time, or you know what I mean? That they were.
Fuck.
Yeah, she's pretty disappointed and upset, and you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole thing is fucking wacky. You don't
be expected when you trust somebody and you're friends with them, and
yeah,
find out that they're lying the whole time, and this has been bullshit the entire time.
Yeah. Now, do you think that, like, I used to think it was for the money, money purposes, but like now thinking about it, like I could not. No one has pointed out this first. At least someone pointed out the first GoFundMe. The only GoFundMe I seen was for $2,000 or something like that. I don't know if there was I couldn't find the second, like the first one, or like the second one or something like that. So I don't know with that one, but it's like, do you think it's for like money, or what? Why would, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think is the motivation for all this? What do you think is the whole situation with all this? Maybe the chat can answer too, if you guys want to put your opinions in the chat. Something. Should have never made a public. Yeah, I agree. It's complete bullshit. You never should have made a public. Do you think like this woman is just simply did this, for money, or do you think this woman just like is this Cornell guy fucking lying, or in the words of Malcolm X?
He might be lying. I heard that he lied in the Kanika Jenkins case and said that there was a video of her going into the freezer and then got behind the mother and completely lied about there being like this video evidence, which I didn't know he like blatantly lied so much about that case. So I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell. Like, is he lying? Like, how could he make up such like intense like lies like this? Do you know what I mean? And then go on like Fox News and News Nation and do the rounds and like, it just seems something is off. Like, why would he completely make it up? And he said that the mother came in and was like, did you hear that part? Like, what does he say? Like, she was like mad at him and for talking about the abuse. So he even said the mother was listening to it. And like, I don't know. The whole thing seems, I don't know who to believe, right?
I think most likely, if I was to guess, the cops fucked up letting this guy in here, this joker. I'm going to call him a joker, because anyone that goes, you claim to be a victim's advocate and you just basically show them around your car, then you can openly exploit this case. So you can just go do a presser.
I think he's an activist, not an advocate.
Okay.
That's what people are saying.
Okay, then why the fuck would you let an activist come in? Like, I get, like, he's
exactly.
saying he's saying the mom asked him originally. I think the interview said the mom asked him.
Yeah, but that's like misinformation. Somebody's saying that
well, that came from his mom. That came from his
I know.
mouth.
No,
that's not misinformation. That's what he said.
That's what QX is saying. You're saying, right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
But also, Grizzy is saying that she contacted him first. So I don't know. He's lying. He said that last time. I was just asking like that in like in somebody's chat about that, because I was like, well, he said it, but then Grizzy said that, but why would the mother contact him, right? That's what the person said in chat. Like, why would he, right? They both can't be true. Grizzy couldn't have contacted him unless he got in touch with the mother somehow.
You know, also another interesting. I think I was like watching a live, and I was watching a live by Sweet Bomb and Loca My Ma. They were doing a panel, and they said like another thing that people don't think about is imagine you have a missing relative, and you hear about this case where this guy gets found after 8 years, and you're thinking great news, and then you see literally everyone kind of jump on this case and look how crazy it is. Wouldn't that make you a little bit scared to basically eventually, kind of put your case out there a little bit when you have a missing kid or something like that as well? I mean, I don't know. It seems
watching the way people jump on shit and do stuff. Yeah, hell yeah. I wouldn't want any of no.
Yeah. Something is just off about this whole case, something is just not adding up.
Well, I mean, I think everyone has their own motivations for doing something. This activist had his motivation. The mother has her motivation. I mean, obviously, I'm stating Captain Obvious fucking facts here. But when you have all these different people that have different motivation meshing together, you really just don't. It all gets distorted, and no one knows what the fuck's going on. I mean, the best thing is like I think the cops are probably screwed up by letting this guy in. But I think the cops, they probably just. They're doing their investigation to see what's the truth and what's not the truth at this point, And I think, they're, in the end of the day, these are allegations set forth. We only heard the activist said, and we haven't heard from the
mother, even
the victim. We haven't. We have all we have is basically a couple of neighbors that say, "Oh, the kid was around the neighborhood," and basically the allegation set forth by the activist. And basically, I haven't heard. I don't know if I've heard from any other allegations of abuse from anyone else. Has that been discussed at all besides the activist that said it? There's a long pause there. I think that's.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So if we go with the facts of the case, all we have is the activist sitting there stating these allegations. And all we have is basically like the only crux of, the only thing with the facts we have is the guy was in the neighborhood. He wasn't missing. And basically like he was in the neighborhood. He wasn't taken by the cartel into slavery. And basically, okay, well, the neighbors said he was never sober. Yeah. So you have a person who's on drugs in the neighborhood, basically, and wasn't missing. So that's all we got so far.
Yeah.
If you just remove the activists, and the activist basically saying his motivations are all over the place. What do you think, Ben Dreamin? You've been quiet, Ben Dreamin.
Just waiting for a chance to hop in here. My biggest concern is what is going to happen and what this is doing to every single case going forward now. What's going to happen with all of these children coming out later? Do you guys have feedback, or is it just me?
I don't hear feedback, but I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Are you hearing it? I think most likely it's going to scare people from going forward because honestly, what that activist did, and I think I said that in the chat, I said this activist basically put blood in the water and let all the sharks come out. He did nothing.
Absolutely.
He did nothing to protect this kid or this guy. I know I keep on saying kid, but it's forced out because he went missing 17. He's a young adult. So if you ever hear me saying kid, it's a 25-year-old. My apologies if I keep on saying kid.
Well, I've been doing the same thing. I've been calling him a boy. I know he's a man now, but who knows what's happened? And that's the thing. We won't know the truth. But the fact that this was allowed to occur for 8 years and nobody knew anything, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to come play Captain Save-A-Hole. Like it's not fair to the focus, which is Rudy. Where are the therapists there for him? Where are the you know, the groups for him. The
Where would
safe
he,
homes.
you know what I mean? Like, people are shocked. Oh, he went with the mother. Yeah, of course he went with the mother because he's homeless. He has no place to live.
Supposedly he's not with the mother now, though, that he's with
Yeah,
friends.
but where originally he went with the mother.
Yeah. Now the mother's
Okay.
on the run. Is that like, I don't even know if that's true or not. Do you guys know?
I don't know. I heard that in the police press conference I saw yesterday. I don't know if things changed recently because I've been working all day, so I don't know if anything's changed recently. They knew where she was.
They
They
did.
stated so,
Like,
and that's from the police. And you know, I'm probably gonna take the word of the police officers a little bit more than a Facebook group or an activist that just basically just completely threw his kid under the bus.
oh, Grandma
Well, and
just
that's
said
where I
that.
kind of, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut
Oh,
you
no,
off.
go. Oh, no, go ahead. I'll just read it after. No, just she said that he's
But
with the aunt now, not with the mom.
But this is exactly my point, okay? Being in law enforcement and having that history, those, regardless if they're victims, perpetrators, suspects, it does not matter. All of those are recorded. But the difference is he knew, this Q guy knew, it's recorded, it's on tape, have him play it. By law, you cannot release a victim's, and that's what he is right now. He is a victim, regardless of how we look at it, if he went missing on his own or not. He is a victim, and you cannot release that unless a judge orders you to for the safety and sanctity of his well-being. So now we're stuck in a hard place to where you've got one person saying, yeah, they're lying, they've got the tapes to prove it, and the cops are, hands are tied. They can't release it. They can say, no, that wasn't said. They can make statements about what was said, but not go into detail. Like, this guy is just, he gets asked a question and he finds a whole life to death story to tell you about it. That's too much information. You're trying to over convince, in my opinion, and showboat this little boy, this man, as it's really hard to watch, but it's really ticking me off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lesson to a lot of people to avoid these types of people. You know what I mean? Like, if a guy says, I'm an activist and I go on, just don't let this guy in the fucking room. And I think is this Q still on 4chan? He was on 4chan?
Well, that makes sense. I don't know.
Is this a joke or are you serious? He's water.
Uh-oh. Plastic ends. He's on 4chan. Oh, Q. Are you talking QAnon? Oh, I shouldn't say that word. I'm sorry.
Hey, what the fuck ever. I mean, we talk about murders and kidnappings here. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You guys, I wanted to tell you about who Quantum is, who this little boy probably thinks, not this little boy, I'm sorry. I just
We
keep
understand.
seeing.
Yeah, we understand that.
So in Houston, that guy is like a mega something to a lot of people. So he thought if he had this guy with him, that he would be safe to talk. I know this probably doesn't make a lot of sense to some people, but so for him, this guy was going to get him to safety because in the past he's seen this guy be able to help others. So in his eyes, Q would have been able to help him. So that's why he opened up.
How does Rudy know that, though? Do you think he would know that he's like an activist that helps people? Because I don't know, or maybe he does know about him. I don't know. Like, how would he know? I didn't know. I mean, people do. I mean, I know some people do know about him. Some people don't. Like, I don't know.
But just think about this now, though. He may have leaned on him during that time, but you give him time to process and heal from this, and he's going to see being used as a
It's hard to
I don't know.
It's hard to know who to believe. I think that's the big problem. It's like, do we believe this person who's lied before? Do we believe this person who's lied about this? Do we believe,
Well, I'll
kinda hard
just
to
let you know
distinguish.
that whatever happened in that room, he recorded it, so it's all going to come out tonight. So I'm going to try to get there if I can find somebody. If my partner is not busy, I won't go there with a gun by myself in that area. I won't do it.
Oh, you're
Hold on.
doing a press
Who
conference
recorded it?
today? You live nearby?
Yeah, but I won't go to that area by myself. So,
So you have a guy. Is there any is that a two-party state or a one-party state?
No,
one party, and he recorded it,
Oh.
and he let them know that last night.
Oh shit! I didn't.
He
realize
let them know that last night. He threw a dig, so they have all day to arrest her. He said tonight at 5:00 he's going to go to her house, and he's
evidence,
doubling down,
said.
and he has a child advocate with him. I mean,
A little too late. A little too late for the child advocate. That child advocate probably would have been useful
Better,
a little
yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
You know, I guess never late than never.
But here's
I just
the
fucked that up.
problem.
He's not a fucking child. So
What?
what's a child advocate matter?
I'm just saying. Here's what I'm
Victims
saying.
advocate.
Victims advocate.
What I'm saying though is, what does him taking a child advocate?
I don't care about him. What I'm saying is he has advocacy behind him besides the activism. So, and when he went missing, he was 17. I think he was 17. I wasn't on the case in the very beginning. Remember that. I wasn't on the case in the beginning. I came in 2 years
But
later.
somebody said it doesn't matter in Texas that 17 is like you're legal as a male.
And that's not correct either. And that's really because if you're in school, there's a gray zone in school in Texas with 17 in the missing community. And I don't know where Finer's getting his information because we've come across this several times. If they are in school at 17, then it's a whole different ballgame. School finites it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
okay. But here is my question and my huge concern right now with what you just said. You said that Q recorded the entire thing and he's going to release it tonight if the mother's not arrested.
Now, wait, before you say Q record, is it confirmed that he said he recorded, or do you believe
He said he has evidence. He said he has evidence.
He said he has the proof. And if he says he has the proof, we are in a one state. You can record one state, and he has the proof. He wouldn't have said that if he didn't have the proof.
But being in a one state party is fine, but when you're in a police interrogation room or
they weren't in an interrogation room
or police questioning,
you have some feedback.
You got feedback. You got did you pause your YouTube in the background?
Yes,
yeah, we've been dealing with this all day.
I'm close. I'll close
you're better
everything
now.
else down.
You're good now though. Whatever you did worked.
No, it's Tina. Tina has to stay muted when we talk because she has really bad feedback. So Tina's muted right now. Go ahead, baby.
So the problem is nobody is allowed to record except for the police in any type of questioning of a victim, of a possible victim. Mm-hmm. And that is by law. So if he releases any type of recordings, we may be looking at some further troubles here, regardless of what they say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Well, why would he do that though? Why would he go on all these like major news networks and like say this if there wasn't some truth? And I just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like it just seems. I don't know who to believe in this story. It's really confusing.
I don't know who to believe and I don't trust anyone. I just want that kid. I'm sorry. I want that kid away from everyone, and he should be placed for his safety in a group home that is going to focus on overcoming his mental challenges that he has experienced and the trauma, and just disassociate with everybody that has caused that
if
trauma.
He's experienced anything. I mean, we don't know, like he needs to be evaluated. Oh, we have feedback again, sorry.
Now, do you think that most likely, like the scenario I have in my head is that most likely he ran away at 17. He eventually comes back. The mother never reports him coming back, and the guy has been possibly addicted to drugs. That's what I think until I'm told otherwise. And maybe that was the situation. And this could be, I mean, like, what do you think of that as a possibility? And like maybe like either that or the allegations are true, or maybe yet, I hate to say it, maybe yet that the person might have said things that might have been not true. The alleged the victim. You know what I mean? Like I'm wondering if like, can we confirm it? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's hard to confirm anything. We can't confirm if QX is lying. We can't
confirm if because there has to be an investigation of whether the victim
Yeah.
is telling the truth.
Exactly.
The alleged victim. You can't just take the word of a person and throw another person in jail for years without some evidence.
Yes,
for sure.
I honestly believe that.
Yeah, me too.
But the problem is just the statements, the recordings, I mean, it just, everything in this just, frustrates me to the core. I mean, we're talking about dash cams before we talk about the most important thing in this story, a child.
That was dumb of them. I don't know why they said that. That was stupid.
I just,
yeah.
The focus all around just seems to be so tainted and so dismissive.
Well, the focus all around is immediately you have people that immediately believe everything without evidence. It's like so far you just have allegations at this point, and people want to like hang this mother hot, like high, like hang her high, whatever the fuck is saying is.
Yeah.
And you got to wait for a police investigation. The problem is that instead of allowing the police to secretly investigate this and to figure it out before it goes to the public light, now it's been thrown to the light, and it's going to affect the investigation. And I just think that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And I think you got it. The person's innocent until proven guilty. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, you got to figure it out, and I just think you go.
But then you get the bigger problems if you throw all of this mess into an investigation, and even the police can't see what's real, what's true, what's false, or they have no choice but to, it's unverified, we can't believe it. And now the case kind of goes away, and now here we have a police department that's getting blamed for covering it up because too many people have just thrown way too many things into the mix and blew it themselves. And it really is, you're in between a rock and a hard place trying to figure this out and know the right way to go with it.
Well, absolutely. I don't know what you can do in this situation. I think like this whole investigation's kind of been completely fucked over by this guy. And now he's going to probably be like, if this actually goes to trial, if it actually does, I don't know if it will ever go. This guy's going to be a witness, and this guy's going to be called up to the stand, and he's going to be asked, and he's going to go into his background, and they're going to be like, did you, as a defense attorney, probably that's going to happen.
But that would be the one time to where the police will absolutely release the videotape of the questioning, and sitting down just to show perjury if it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, just real quick so that I don't blow y'all out, because my something's wrong with me up here. So they've called Adult Protective Services. When he went outside, he asked, I don't know if y'all remember or not, but he asked if he can say anything, if anything he says is going to mess the investigation up. And the guy said no. I know y'all heard him say that. He said that on purpose, and he said no. I think the thing is that Rudy was talking to I can't say his name, so I'm just say QX, okay? So Rudy was talking.
Call him the proper name, Malcolm X, like that.
No, that's not going to happen. I like that he gets answers out of people. I don't like the way he gets them out. So that's how I feel about him. Anyway, he recorded it, but I think the way he would get away with this is because Rudy was talking to him. That's how that'll work out.
In a police setting, it's not by law. I'm sorry, hon. I'm not trying to bad.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know how that'll work out. That's up to him. That's up to them. What I do know is that HPD is corrupt, and I'm tired of them getting away with stuff. That I do know.
They're corrupt.
Excuse me?
They're corrupt. Like what articles?
Because I have a dot right now. I have a bullet sitting on my head because I have 3 traffickers. 2 of them are out, and they had over $100,000 bonds, and that's why I sit in my house right now instead of in the streets every night all the time. Because right now I have 2 people out that shouldn't be out. Yeah, and that just happened, and they just got out after 4 years. So that's why. And on many other levels, we had another pimp. He admitted to what he did, but there wasn't a picture, and he was on parole. So I don't really want to go into how I feel.
So there's a lot of corruption, you think, possibly?
No, there is corruption. Look at Precinct 1 sex scandal. They had their own girl go in there, and then anyway, I'm not going to go into all that.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just that
I don't know about all that, but I know that they said that his father took his life.
Yeah, he was under investigation.
Actually, going through an internal investigation.
Yeah.
I heard that.
At the precinct he worked at because of some things that happened, and the rumors that were going around on social media, or some of them, were that's why he had taken, or that was one of the many reasons why he had taken his life, because of what they were going to find out during this internal investigation.
And yes, Amber, all of Harris County. I agree.
It sounds like that's when the mom lost it too, after the dad and the son died.
But check this out.
The dad wasn't married.
Thought they were together and like married and stuff, like a family. No, they weren't. They had been divorced. He was already remarried with some other woman.
Still, when somebody like that,
Yeah, I get that too.
Themselves.
I thought they were together, like as a family. You know what I mean? Like husband, wife, they had kids. You know what I mean? Like boys. You know what I mean? But no, they weren't. They were separated. They were with other people. He was with someone else. I don't know if she was or not, but he was already remarried. You know what I mean? Had another wife and had moved on with his life.
For Rudy, though, to lose his brother and then his father like that. That's a really hard thing for anybody, any age.
I just meant, like, in my mind, I thought when they were talking yesterday, I was given a lot of grace. I thought she had lost her husband that she was with, like married to. I thought they she had lost somebody she was sleeping next to every night for 20 years. And you know what I mean? Like then her son passed away right after. And I didn't realize that, her and her husband, or her and this, they had been split up, and that it doesn't make it hurt any less. I just thought that, they were a family together, and they were not.
Yeah.
They already remarried.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does make things a little different because they weren't like like a unit.
Yeah, I guess the family dynamics, it changed the family dynamics for me, that's all.
Here's another thing. In 2016, Banna, she has down in there, Janie went and changed the grandmother's will and put it for Rudy to be the beneficiary and her. And she has 6 kids. But Rudy was supposed to be missing. And remember, I met her in 2017 at the Missing Persons Day. So it's all about money for her. And so again,
it's always been like that, you said.
Yeah. So again, why did her 20-something year old have, I don't know. I just hope that she doesn't go around hurting people. I mean, and then.
Well, and that's why I called her earlier in the chat. It was the perpetual victim.
Yeah, that's what she is.
Deaths or car thefts or injuries, or she's always doing the sympathy thing and playing victim even now, where her son should be the focus. It's all about me.
Right. I want to know why the family didn't say anything when she was saying that the kid had cancer. They can say all they want that they didn't see the child for 8 years. Why weren't they saying something when she was saying that he had cancer?
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, she said that they didn't talk, that they were all estranged, which
They were all
fine.
estranged, but then all of a sudden, boom, they're here and can't wait to see him. I don't know. It's just everyone wants their 15 minutes in this.
And then where
story.
he's at, he feels comfortable there. Okay, but I thought you didn't even know those people up until 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Where he's staying right now, you mean?
Yeah.
With a
Yeah.
friend, or is he with like the aunt?
No,
Who
he's with
knows?
a friend.
Hard to tell.
Anyway. Yeah, he's with a family friend.
Didn't Polly say the mom spoke to her about Netflix Lifetime reaching out more than Rudy? Oh my gosh. I don't know. This thing is just crazy. I feel like I mean, the QX part of it, I feel like he's just trying to get himself back in the news, because I heard that he wouldn't even, regular, like, you know, he said was on Fox and News Nation, and that's the first time he's been on for a while, because he's like been banned a bit.
Hey, be happy. Why does it always have to be about some corruption? I tell you what, I understand that it's really hard to believe that HPD or Harris County would be corrupt, but I have to live with it over here, so I kind of know the situation. But on some of this stuff, I don't know on this case, but I will tell you though, they do have some issues out here. I personally know, well, she told me she would be going out on dates with cops, but I don't know. She most definitely could have been lying 100% at this
The
point.
mom you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, with regard to the family, there's a little bit of back up. With regard to the family, why the family basically, you know, are just jumping into the scene. I honestly think that, in my mind, that until otherwise, until more proof is that this person probably ran away, was addicted to drugs, probably ran around the house, like in the neighborhood, and you know, now they're kind of just jumping in like last minute, this family maybe, or maybe they didn't realize it was this bad, or maybe they just didn't pay attention. I don't know. You know, I mean, like, I could be wrong, and you know, but
Yeah,
they
there
could
could
have
be
just.
truth in part of his story, you know,
But I
QX's story.
can't. Yeah, I mean, but I can't imagine someone running around the neighborhood being brought to work allegedly, like in the family. You know, no one had a clue, not even the cops. Seems, you know, I'm not
Like a
saying this is
billboard
grand,
about him.
and I'm not
Yeah.
saying this is a conspiracy, like why the cops are trying to cover this, you know, kid being missing. I'm saying that most likely just maybe fell through the cracks, and maybe they just didn't notice him in the neighborhood. Suppose that.
And like I said before, you know, being tied to, you know, law enforcement, I see the ins and outs, and I've seen the good and the bad. Don't think I am discounting you at all. But there's also a fine line between corruption and having your hands tied politically as to what you can do. So when people get out on bail, that's not the police's fault. That's
I totally
higher ups.
understand that.
And to kind of find that balance and find out where that blame lies really takes some work as to who's doing what in which areas.
The survivor was told that he was doing time for her
Oh,
trafficking.
by the way, so yeah, I don't think he was addicted at the time of 17, but I'm saying like right now, if I'm speaking addiction right now, I'm thinking right now. If I didn't make that clear, my apologies. But anyway, just to answer stereophonics, Mom. So his family knew he was being hid, and they didn't know. I mean, like
Yeah, the whole family thing, I don't know, guys. They were estranged. I'm reading what you guys are putting down. I don't know. They were estranged. I'm not sitting here taking up for the family at all. I know that they came to the missing person thing. Her friend Christina, and then the one lady that won't identify herself came. And then the brother Jerry, that's no longer here.
I mean, Most likely, I would say either two things either happened. They basically, the family kind of like weren't that close, and they didn't really go near there, so they knew, they basically believed the kid was still missing based on that, and they never really were that close to them, or they just, that's the thing I'm probably going with, and the other is maybe it's just, it kind of knew but didn't really want to say anything. But who knows? That's just the two things. I'm going with that it was most likely that they weren't maybe that close and they didn't know that the guy was still running around. But that's just an opinion.
Well, exactly. I mean, family units are so different today. I'm one of 9. I don't speak to anyone in my. God, they would sell information on me if they could. Like, to have a bad family unit is kind of, it's sad to say, but almost the norm. It's kind of like half and half. Either they're good or they're dysfunctional.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find that in between or even happy, safe place anymore. And I know darn well, God forbid something happened to me or one of my children, the wonders that would come out of their butts as to what happened and what has been happening. So even when we come down to family members, especially if it's dysfunctional or distant or, it all kind of ties in.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we're not going to, the truth of the matter is we shouldn't really be knowing the facts of the investigation, and this guy just kind of fucked it up. This guy just basically ran there and didn't care about the welfare of anything, just cared about getting a soundbite. He does this, these
and
crocodile.
parading that boy around. I felt so bad.
He puts this kid in basically a blanket, tosses him in the car, and basically just like walks him back. And now he's on multiple shows. He might have recorded it. Just all this shit. And you sit there and you're like, it really makes families afraid to actually go to social media about their family, because you got these like fucking sharks like this that just come out. And, it could be very well that this mother could be, I'm just putting this out there. It could be very well that this mother could be innocent and just basically just got fucking defamed all over the news lately. I saw Cuomo put like the question mark, kept as a sex slave. Was it the question?
Cuomo.
And I'm
let's think about this, Tim. Let's say that he releases something tonight that is, factual or doctored. It doesn't matter which way. But let's say that the mother lives up to her threats and decides to end it. Whose fault is that? Her son's? Q's?
Q, maybe hers.
The police? Who do you think is going to feel the responsibility, though? Her son.
Yeah,
because Q has no shame about doing it. He apparently could care less.
Yeah, he didn't care. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, I don't think he cared about the guy. I don't think he cared about actually pursuing justice for this guy. I don't think he cares about that at all. I think he went down there, saw his opportunity, got a soundbite, and now he's on multiple channels now, and his name's being spoke about outside of the immediate area.
Exactly.
And, he might, try to sit, now he's trying to push, bullshit, maybe like trying to sue the police force. I'm sure he'll be really nice to this guy if that happens, and he'll probably sit by and, that usual thing. And it's like, what this guy basically did was just put blood in the water for everyone to come in, and he fucked over investigation and maybe fucked over the chance of getting this justice for this individual if these allegations are correct, because I'm sure a defense attorney is going to tear this guy a fucking new one if he jumps on the stand and maybe like say, well, did you coerce him into stating these things? How did you get this information out? You know what I mean? And it's just like, and it's just unfortunate that that whole thing happened, and no one, you know what I mean? And now you know, everyone's confused. Some people are calling it a GoFundMe scam. Some people are calling it, you know, now this, you know, news media's got the question mark, you know, kept as a sex slave. They don't give a fuck if they're defaming this, you know, anyone. They just put the question mark in it, and they have enough attorneys to fight themselves whenever they do it. And all we're left with is, yeah.
Without
You go,
Q's
Lily.
without Q's whole like spiel about everything, this story would have like ended as well, most likely. Do you know what I mean? It created this huge controversy and drama now, and
I don't think it would have ended. I think it probably would have been a lot more calmer, and people would have waited for the cops to basically come forward with information.
it would have
and press them.
resolved
Yeah.
differently.
And if there was charges being brought, then eventually, of course, that would be, you know, brought to the news. But it would be like
behind the scenes more.
behind the scenes. The most important thing when this is not whether the news media knows about it. It's whether if there's a crime that is actually done, justice being served, and this person facing time if there is. And if there isn't a crime and there's just this guy, you know, basically just running around the neighborhood, maybe try to get the person help. I mean, either or. But it's just like, who the fuck does this help? You know what this helps? This helps the advertisers.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all it helped. I mean, I'm glad it helped the advertisers. It's probably a very slow month. Maybe you know what I mean? They get the news media finally gets a couple of bucks going on.
It's true,
you know?
dude. Yeah.
That's all that helped.
I mean,
Get
Fox
to sell
News went with it. You know, I'm sure they're going to do the press conference later today with the family members, you know. I mean, everybody's like kind of, because people can't make sense of it. So people are trying to make sense of it all, you know. They have everybody confused, you know, like AWP
Absolutely.
and Kylie Rodney. It's kind of that kind of moment where he came in and he dropped a bomb and he's like, what? Everybody's like, what? Like,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
that's
like,
another guy who basically just went in there, said bullshit with no proof, lied to his audience, because I'm going to say he lied to his audience about, oh, well, the body in the back, that's unusual. It's a murder. And then, like, literally while he's selling his fucking bootleg, not bootleg, but his
icebreakers.
his icebreakers, he's like, well, normally people end up in the back. Well, why did you not say that before, sir?
Yeah.
I guess if you're selling products, you got to be truthful a little bit. But I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, it's just it's mostly about being people just say shit and they don't care. They just make a mess and let other people clean it up. And either something happened. This woman's innocent. And she's just been completely defamed in all of the news media. And there's no amount. And it's not like these news media are going to do a retraction or anything. They'll just say, fuck it, move on to the next. What is she going to do? Sue us? We're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Or basically they fucked over an actual investigation, and now this woman can walk because there's so many holes in the story that a defense attorney, that's probably a public defender, can knock holes into it.
Yeah.
I mean, either or.
That's true. That right there is really, wow.
Hey, Queen. I on your Discord, I dropped some stuff in there about when she took the trip to LA and it's to go identify somebody that she thought was Rudy. And then I dropped the link in the back, whatever, in the chat, for what I'm talking about with what he said last night.
Okay, you said to me, Lynn, okay, I'll go look right now.
Somebody put like an article too about the father, Rudy's father, like why he, like what he was under investigation for. It was had to do with like speeding. He was like giving out like false speeding tickets so that he could appear in court, and he made like $130,000 extra for appearing in court when it wasn't really a ticket. Like he was writing 2 tickets at the same time in different parts of town they saw, so he could go to get the court hours, the court rate, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Am I explaining that right?
Yeah, you
I
did.
understand what you're saying.
You did. Well, what she told us was something totally different, and it would have put Rudy in much more danger. Anyway, this is a crazy story.
That it was more nefarious than that, you're saying, like, because that seems like, I mean, not good, but like,
yeah, much more
trying to work the system, like not getting involved with like cartels,
no,
gangs,
she
and
told us he was that he was doing something very bad. It doesn't need to be discussed. It was a lie anyway. So
I could see that.
but
Okay,
I mean,
that's interesting.
she told us it was very bad. Like they would have taken Rudy over it. So it's just crazy. I just want to say, I don't not like all the police. I get angry when I start talking because of the issues here in Houston, in Harris County. There's just a lot of corruption.
Yeah,
I'm not
and you're
saying
local,
the
you know.
whole everybody.
Yeah, I mean the issue with that is usually whenever you speak of like corruption, people think like you're speaking as a whole. And usually the reason why I get a little bit iffy with that is because you have to like point out examples specifically.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, I mean, like if you just blanket statement say corruption, you know, I mean, people get this, you know, they say, well, you know, everyone's corrupt, and it's like you got to point out specific things, you know.
Exactly,
You have
and
to point out
every
stories.
officer, I'm sorry, Beatsim.
You
And
keep on
every
going.
officer I encounter after hearing that statement, I'm going to question and pick apart and distrust with hearing a statement of they're corrupt. It's like, are you here to help me, or is this no? This is gonna be hit. I don't want to talk. Never mind. I'll just shut up. I'm going home.
Here's the thing. We will sit out there on a call. Like if we spotted a kid, we have to sit there. We have to call them when we get there. And if we're sitting there, you know, watching a kid, and they will say, well, we're 2 hours out. And I'm like, well, you know, anyway, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is like, they don't make it easy for us at all. And we're trying to help. And for the officers that are in there and are fighting to make a lot of changes within the department, they're making it really hard for those officers. So I don't know. And I'm not saying that it's corruption at that point, but what I'm saying is that like the officer that wrote a very good report for like my on the trafficking thing, there should have been no problem. And the survivor was told that he got time for her charge, and he didn't. He didn't, because I can see it. So.
Hi there, Mary. So, yeah, it's just that's the thing. You got to be careful with blanket statements like that. It's just that I get your personal experience. It's just like, you know, you got to be careful when you say things like that.
I understand.
You know.
Yeah, I know people are angry. Sorry.
No,
we're just here, and you can look up Precinct 1. They have a sex scandal going on over there, and they use their own officer to do it. Have a look at Harris County Precinct 1. Oh, and by the way, their detective came out to my calls for two of my 12-year-old and my 13-year-old victims.
Now, do you know, I mean, you have unsupervised maniac says, do you know if Rudy has some mental health issues that affect his day-to-day living? That's a question to you. You're Tina, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know if Rudy, no, I was never told he had any. No.
Okay. If you hear like background noise, I'm cooking, so you might hear like an actual grill in the background. Sorry.
What are you making?
Yes, Jim. Jim, exactly. The entity is not corrupt, but there's individuals within, 100% that are pretty high up.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, just you gotta be.
Well, I'm reading off. I'm agreeing instead of.
Yeah. Let me see. This is the first time I've heard Harris Co. has major issues. Okay. Yeah, I try not to say blanket when I'm cooking 2 pizza rolls. That's not really cooking, to be honest with you, unless you're making it from scratch.
That's heating up.
That's just heating up. I'm sorry to be a little bit of a snob. Unless you're actually making the dough.
What are you making?
I'm making something very simple. It's just no. I'm making myself a vegan pasta and meatballs.
Oh.
I usually make my own sauce, but I'm using a can, like an actual store bought. But I buy like the good ones, not like the cheap ones like ragu. Ragu sucks.
Rayos is good.
Yeah, well, I buy like a local Brooklyn shop, like that makes it.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
the best, probably. Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. So I'm just heating it, and now what I do is I'm cooking the pasta, and then also I'm actually heating up the vegan meatballs, and then I'm going to probably put the sauce in there, mix it up, and then put the when it's make the pasta about half cooked or something like that, and pour a little bit of the pasta water with the pasta and with the sauce, and then cook it together.
Fancy.
That's
Oh,
usually how it is.
fancy.
Well, that's kind of
Yes.
just easy. That's an easy
Yeah,
cook.
that's how like the cooks do it. Al dente.
Well, you got to
and
use
mix it,
you got to keep the pasta water. You can't. You got to use the pasta water whenever you cook with the
Yeah,
sauce.
that's like key, they say. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I make my own dough. Yeah, I made my own dough. It's fucking annoying to make dough and bread. It's fucking annoying. Be right back. Give me 1 second.
So what did you hear I just looked and I heard that there was like something going on where the mom now is like stalking Rudy. Did you hear that? I don't know. It's just like rumors, but
Right
or
now,
like
currently, or last
or
night?
very recently. Oh, maybe it was, let me see when this video was from. Hold on.
Well, like I said, I know that Adult Protective Services have been called called in, but I don't know. And as far as do I think that Rudy was part of it? I have no idea. I don't know. And for those people that don't live in Houston or know this, we have many kids go missing a day here. Not just a kid, but with sorry, I'm trying to read at the same time.
No, and I hear you on that. I mean, there are missing kids that disappear everywhere. But it all comes down to what the county, the states, and the country has done to cut funding from some of these things. And the first thing to go were the children's services. And looking for missing kids now is basically and sadly left up to the community. And if it's, how do I put it? If it's an Amber Alert kidnapping, we see it, we know this is not just someone who walked away from their house. It's more of a priority and gets more resources. But it's just kind of hard being in that frame and being looked at and like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like, well, we can't do anything. We don't have the funding. Your chiefs, your sergeants, they will not allow you to go do this unless you're on your own time. And after dealing with what some of the police departments deal with as far as shootings and murmurs and stuff like that, that time off is needed to kind of rebuild that mind frame. So I understand why people are upset. Don't get me wrong. But when we say corruption, when we say, they're all bad, there are places out there that are bad. I'm not going to say they're not because I haven't been in there. But I also know that the hands are tied from the lowest level to the captains saying, hey, they won't let us. They're not giving us the funding for this. We have to make do. That's like a surgeon saying you need a heart transplant on a kidney dialysis budget. You can only do what you can do, and it all falls right back on them. Does that make sense?
A little. I get it. No, I get your point. But how are TG police corrupt in this case? I don't think they're. I mean, like I haven't seen personally the news media. I haven't seen any evidence of them being corrupt. The only thing I can think about is basically maybe the cops this kid just went through like the cracks of search for the kid, and I think they're just embarrassed. They're kind of just keeping their mouth shut because there was an investigation, and they're probably a little embarrassed that they let this guy come in and basically walk out the door and state this stuff. So that's what I think.
Yes, T-Berry.
Press release photo for today at 5 p.m. Let me see.
That's when he's doing the press conference with the family, right? With like
Who's doing the press conference with the family?
QX is doing another press conference today with I believe the aunts, right? And he's going to give evidence, give evidence, produce evidence. I don't know if they don't, I guess, arrest them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hear about that part until today, but last night he was saying that he has evidence, and it was going to be with the family.
And Julie, I see what you're saying about the increase in budget for Harris County. But with the increased budget means increase in infrastructure. That means they've had a massive amount of people moving to, let's just say, like Texas, Florida, Arizona, Colorado. Like, these states have had such an influx of people that their budgets will go up, but it still doesn't mean more money per person.
Yeah.
The money went up, but it's not even enough to allot for the amount of people now that they have to keep safe or protect and serve.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of is a double-edged sword as well. Yeah, budget went up, but at what cost?
Yeah. I mean, is there anything like particularly about this case? I mean, I know we're kind of keep on going back to the corrupt police officers, the budgets, and I kind of like, I think that's kind of like beating, I think we keep on going back to the same points over and over again, but is there any, like, maybe we should move away from that conversation, go back to the Rudy or something else? Is there anything else that particularly stands out on that case?
No, I think my point, the point I wanted to make is just the damage it's going to do to victims going forward. We could really be limiting any child who does come in to make a statement now, not have a court-appointed advocate if we have people recording statements in protected rooms. If we have them releasing details that they shouldn't be releasing in an open investigation. And we really just need to focus on getting him the help or the non-help he needs. But
well, I'll let you know how we would handle that, just so I can let you know here. I'm not an activist, so that's not what we do. If we would have stepped in, then we would have got Rudy help if he would have came with us. But we can't just say, I mean, he's 25 years old. I mean, he's an adult. He's not a child. So bottom line is, whatever he wanted to do at that time, he would have been able to do. He is of age, so he could have done whatever he wanted. And even if he wasn't, even as a minor, if he didn't want to come with us,
right,
our hands are always tied, but we will go with a teenager and get her SANE screen, because usually we talk to them after we interview them. We do not record a damn thing. That was total exploitation to me. I would have never, that would have never, ever, ever happened in my world. So that would have never happened. That's a weird, different kind of case. And no, that just doesn't happen. So this is a different kind of case, guys. This isn't like what usually happens here. I think that's what I think we need to focus on too, is this is something that we've never dealt with. I mean, you don't see people coming home after 8 years and they've been living in the same house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And if it was reversed, do you hear an echo? Is it me? Okay. If it was like, say like a mother with not a mother with a son, a father with a daughter, would be looking at this completely different, or I mean similar but different.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
correct.
mean? Would it
The dad would
would
be
it
in jail.
actually would there already be like some
I
kind
see
of
Queen has an article up. Queen, what's the article, by the way?
Well, and I want to just say that we're not going to do anything different. We'll keep looking for people.
No, I
Even if they
know.
aren't telling us a story.
would the cops treat it differently? I'm saying, would they
Yeah.
have had treated it differently
Oh.
or at all? You know, because
I don't know.
yeah,
But
I don't even know anything with this.
Yeah.
Queen, what do we got here?
I think this is going into the father's, basically it's information regarding the father and when he unalived himself. And the whole bogus traffic tickets things.
Yeah, he had like a scam going where they write up two, so they knew that person wasn't going to appear in court, and they would get like fees to, these like major fee like to appear in court, and then the person wouldn't. So it was like an easy day for them, I guess.
Not easy for that person that they got screwed over, I guess, with the speeding tickets.
Yeah.
Tapped for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I mean, just writing a random freaking two at the same exact time, supposedly, right? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like my understanding is, I'm reading like an article myself. It says he was identified in HPD the following day. Let me see. The elder Farias killed himself on August 19, 2014, just hours after he was relieved of duty for allegedly writing bogus traffic tickets to make overtime. He was identified by HPD the following day in a parking garage behind the department jail near the downtown Houston authorities, said Farias. Is it, how do you say it like that? I'm terrible at saying names. Is it how would you say that name properly? Farias?
I'm not going to say it any better than you. You're doing great.
Farias? Okay, Farias?
That's how I say it too, Farias.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering names.
No, you're good with it.
I don't want anyone to get pissed off at me. Farias III was among 4 officers who accused of falsifying several dozen speeding tickets issued by HPD's traffic enforcement unit, in which officers appeared to have been in 2 places at once, the outlet reported. And arbitrary listed for Farias III cited Raymond Mary Farias as wife, 17 years, with no mention of Janie Santana, Rudy's mother. Rudy was a young teenager when his brother was killed in a motorcycle accident in 2011. Farias vanished early 2015. Okay, so this was like an article talked about the family. So basically, he just wrote a bunch of tickets for overtime, and then he was caught eventually, and then he unalived himself.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy way to start.
Stefan was waiting.
Yeah, I was just reading another article. I wasn't reading this article. So if you want to go through this article, if you want, Queen.
Hey.
I feel like whenever you say "Who Let the Dogs Out," I think of the song.
Hey, Rowena, how are you, love?
Hey. Okay, I've got something unpopular to say, and I'm sure I'll be hated, and that's okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm ready. This is a hate channel, so don't you know that? This is a alleged hate channel.
Hey, I want to hug you. You're my spirit animal right now. Okay. The only thing that we know is that this boy, young person, now a man, was reported missing for 8 years. The police have said that he came back the next day. We have all seen proof of that this mother has run. We have seen, don't mean to speak about the dead, but his biological father, what he was up to. And I just don't know who to believe, and I hate to feel this way. Oh, I hate to feel this way. But until I hear it out of Rudy's, I don't. Could he be scamming it? I mean, could he have said some things to try to get himself out of hot water? I mean, he wasn't surrounded by an example of upstanding citizens.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hate to even. I hate. We don't know what.
We don't
Look, he
know.
could look. We don't know. And when he could have looked at QX and said, "Look, I couldn't take it anymore. She was wanting me to, be the, the dad of the family since, my dad did that, that I was going to have to be the dad." And then he exploited that. I don't know. I know his record for us at all.
Anything's possible with this case, I
Yeah.
feel like. Yeah.
And so it's like, and I hate to even think this, but like, is Rudy a scammer too? I don't know. And then, I'm like, okay, great. The neighbor, she's speaking up. But then she doubles down. "Oh, you said I was selling drugs out of my house, bitch. Really? And then she's got the mother killing him and offering her. I'm like, come on now. Netflix, where do I sign and where is my check? That is this is what I see.
Right? I
And I'm sorry,
know.
I had to hop up because I couldn't, my
Go big or
hands
go
bothered me and I
home
couldn't.
kind of theory.
Yeah, it's gross. It's just gross.
Yeah, no,
so,
it's a possibility that like he's in. I mean, there's a possibility of everybody is. That's like everybody seems like nobody's telling the truth. Like
yeah. I mean, I hate to think, and I hope that I'm wrong. I really do.
right. Yeah.
I mean,
No, I know what
in
you
one
mean.
way, I
Yeah.
do hope that I'm wrong. In one way, I do hope that I'm wrong. And in another way, I don't. And I do hope that I'm wrong, that, he's not a scammer and a liar like his mama. But in another way,
Rowena, this is
I
one of
don't
those
want him.
cases.
Yeah.
Rowena, this is one of those cases of you question everything and trust no one.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good way to.
But you
Exactly.
feel guilty because you're
Don't feel
like,
guilty.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you have to
Yeah.
like think about that in the terms of like, okay, so this guy's in a room with two officers and this person. There's a possibility that he's worried about like, what if he's getting arrested for a scam? Because the fact is that I'm sure if you're reporting a missing person that's not missing, worried about themselves and makes up the whole story. That's a possibility. That's why you need to let the cops
Definitely.
investigate, because until it actually has evidence, you have to let them investigate, and you don't just go out there and just start saying shit. But unfortunately, I mean, if the guy actually gave a shit about his reputation, this Q guy, then he would probably not go out there, and he would wait for the investigation and then say something. But unfortunately, he doesn't care about his reputation because he doesn't give a fuck.
It's not even about the reputation. If you care about this kid, why would you put those details out for everyone?
Listen,
that
we gotta
knows him?
We gotta go. We gotta take what we can get. I'm sure this guy doesn't give a fuck about the kid, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure he cares more about his reputation than they bill, than this case. Because where was he 8 years ago? Where was he 4 years ago? Where was he 3 years ago? Where was he 2 years ago?
Where were
Suddenly
all
just
these people?
Suddenly he just magically appears in the hospital just so we can get soundbite. I mean, okay, whatever.
And then another thing, the aunts yesterday, honey, when she pulled that bag up out of her, please, when she pulled that bag up out of her purse and got that glove out and that rosary.
God. Oh my goodness.
Come on, your credibility just shot.
Yeah. Boom.
Shot. You're done.
Gone.
You showed me who you were. You're done.
Yeah. Next. Next.
Let's bring on another one. And that's how I feel. It's like it's just one after another, after another, after another. And the only thing that I heard law enforcement say is need for dash cams. And he was filed. He was filed a missing person report. He came back a day later.
By the way, what glove are you referring to? Like another case with the glove, like Chris McDonough's case?
No, I'm referring to the aunt that went to the front yard that had his his rosary that shard because and she has a whole detailed story because she was rushing him out and the rosary fell off his neck, landed in the yard. But you've got a glove. What are y'all talking about? This is asinine. This is beyond. But it's like we want. It's like everything has to be yesterday or locked up. The DA holds all of this. You know, the DA is going to the police just can't go, I'm going to arrest you and, you know, these are your
Yeah,
charges. The DA is going to set the tone,
I
period.
mean, like you have the same people that will cry about, oh, the cops overstep their boundaries and they overstep their all this stuff, and then the next minute, in the same breath, they're like, why haven't they done an arrest yet? Why hasn't the DA made a statement? It's like, well, maybe because they have to follow procedures and actually gather evidence, and then they have to go to the DA, and the DA has to say, yes, arrest that person because we have evidence to we can get an actual, you know, get this person trial right now. You know, like you have the same people that will say one minute the police overstep their boundaries and the next minute they need to overstep their boundaries. It's like, pick one, guys. Like, are we going to wait until they like actually do an investigation, or do you want them to just rush in, grab this lady for so you can get a sound bite when she goes into jail, and then she just walks free because they have zero evidence that except for a statement from a guy whose fucking reputation I'm hearing is questionable at best, and a kid who's basically like, you know, you don't know if he's telling the truth or not and can be shaken up. You know, and at the end of the day, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop off for now, but I just wanted to thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. See you around. All right, mate. I also don't like that Care Bear. That Care Bear needs to be the hate Care Bear, by the way. Needs to be like the hate.
You don't like bears at all, do you?
Well, he needs to. She needs to be the hate. What's the Care Bear of hate?
Grumpy Bear. Grumpy Bear.
No, there's an actual Care Bear of hate. I think.
There's no hate bear.
There's a hate bear. There's an absolute. I'm sure there's a hate bear.
There's no hate bear and Care Bear.
No,
we don't have
Be a
hate
dark
bears
heart
and
Care Bear.
Care Bear.
It's got to be. It's got to be the dark heart. The dark heart. Care
Dark
Bear,
Heart. I'm
obviously.
sure there's like an evil spin-off of the Care Bears, the Dark Bears. But
the Dark Heart Care Bear.
Original.
That's obviously.
Today, who I'd love to hear from is Tim Miller, because to me, he needs to send that bitch a bill. And everything that they did looking for him and the resources that they used that could have been a legitimate person that could have been possibly found to all those families, she needs to get a bill.
I mean, this person was. Yeah, I mean, like that's another thing that could be calling into why there might be like this kid might, you know, this guy might fib these stories because you just made a false police report and you've cost us, you know, multiple agencies money.
Yep.
All because let's say, you know, all because of possibility of maybe like a GoFundMe scenario. I mean, there's a theory on that one. If we're going to jump on like conspiracy trains here, there's a conspiracy there, and it's like, you know, it's a possibility. You just don't know. That's why it's best to let the, you know, cops do an investigation, not the public media, not the fucking media, nor the fucking the activist. Let me see. B10 Dan Stitchin has a possum short video for you. Ah, fuck.
But I mean, I'm not, and I just like anybody else, we just want the truth, but just everybody just kind of think rationally a little bit, like what? There's just a lot. This is a lot.
People don't think rationally. People think emotionally. That's how they think. Everything's about emotions. So no one's rational. If you rationally thought this out, you would say to yourself, yeah, but I'm saying if you rationally thought this out, you'd be like, okay, so all there is just an allegation from a guy who has a questionable past with a person that might be worried about getting in trouble. And we basically have the only factors is the person was around the neighborhood and was hanging around the neighborhood. And then you would work with those facts. You wouldn't go with, you know, the statement. I mean, that's what that Q guy kept on pushing is like the emotion, the crocodile tears, I call it.
Oh,
I've never heard the word. I've never heard such and so horrible in my life. Well, I've heard about worse things, and you know, I've heard bad things. That's worse, but pretty bad things in the past week. Like, you know, but B10, there's I don't effing care bear. Oh, okay.
Oh, I want that bear.
Ellie's gone. She's run off. She's skedaddled away.
That koala.
Or she dropped off.
eucalyptus.
QX has caused a lot of theories, but the biggest crime IMO is explaining Rudy. Yeah, I mean, the guy, and you know, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is he'll get a little bit backlash, but at the end of the day, he just got what he wanted. He got in the press.
Exactly. He got on News Nation.
You know?
He got on Fox. You know, he got to wear his
And if he did
suit,
record,
you know,
and if he did record a conversation with him, police officers like that, it should be against the law. I don't know if it's against the law, but it should be against the law to do something like that.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
So what else stood out in this case to you?
Did y'all notice, like, to me, it seemed like law enforcement kind of really wanted to skirt away from him. Like, just from where I just moved from, I know that
I
there's
think
a
they're
lot of
embarrassing.
tension and activists. And sometimes when you have that local voice and that local, you know, whatever, sometimes I think law enforcement are fearful of the ramifications if they call him out. You know what I mean? Like, just call him out, because then he'll get everybody fired up, and the next thing you know, Houston's on CNN being burned down. I mean, that's where it was when I came from. But I don't know. It's just so sad. But you know,
Well, to
he
Voodoo's point,
exploited
she says it's
him.
so important
Period.
for not. Wait. You know, let me just say this. It's so important for not to be against the law. No, I'm not talking about, like, you know, you're recording someone public in the street. I'm talking about, like, you're having and the cops are having an interview with a third party who is alleging a crime has occurred to them. And then this guy walks in and starts recording it, who is not the person, but just a third party just going in there and deciding to record it because he wants to have the sound bite. That's the problem I have. I mean, if this was like, you know, not the usual situation where people record, like, you know, to see if the police are just doing the right thing or something like that, that's great.
Yeah.
But not some third party person that just decides to record it for himself, you know. Technically, that's even evidence. He was asked to come the queue. I mean, he was, you know, says he was asked by multiple people, and he was probably was. Yeah, he was asked by who?
A TikToker, Grizzy.
What'd you say? Yeah, and he said his, and I heard from his mouth.
I don't believe him.
Yeah, and I heard from his mom. Not from his mom. I heard from him saying that the mom requested him. I'm more in lines of believing. Yeah, well, that's what he says, Voodoo, and we don't have the mother saying anything. So it's either him saying.
But I do have Grizzy saying that she called him. Grizzy said that she called him the night before. So, and I mean, I don't know her either. So, I mean, I'm like, I don't believe anybody. It's like anything that comes out is just more outrageous.
I can believe Grizzy. I can believe a social media person contacting him more so than the mother. Because in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck, first off, if we think about, wait, just let me finish. How the fuck are we going to know? How is this woman going to know this guy from John? Like, I get he's kind of famous over there, but how would this woman know this man, know his phone number, and immediately call up this man to come over? Can anyone answer me that? Like, does she have some sort of past history where she knows this person? Or is this just, you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing people are forgetting. How did this woman know to call this man to have his number to come?
I have a question. Who found Rudy? They're saying Good Samaritans found him?
Somebody found him near the church, right?
Yeah, right. Who was that?
That was that woman that was talking, remember? She was the one that said that she
in front of a church.
Yeah.
But it's not the neighbor that said that she found him because he was in her garage, not at the church. Who actually physically found him at that church?
Good question. Was he at the church?
No.
I don't believe anything in the story.
Right. That was what the news said.
Video.
did mom drop him off because hey, we got to work on a new grip? I don't know. I mean,
Well,
Well, I don't know because they said that Tim, when they showed him that there was a video of a restaurant, some guy came in who wasn't verbal. They said that he wasn't speaking. They don't know if he was verbal or not, but he wasn't speaking. And he sat there for a while. Somebody paid for his meal, and then he left. Now he had longer hair. But then, they said Rudy showed up the next day or later that night, or the next day at the church across the street.
Right. And they said Good Samaritans found him. And then I guess and he was covered in bruises and cuts. Right. And they called an ambulance and the mother refused.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they said the mother.
So
Now,
the question is,
okay, hold on. So here is a picture. This is the picture that Tina was showing me. This is one of the ones that she put up, Janie, the mom.
Oh.
The mom who always puts up fake pictures.
Yeah.
Yep. She shared this. And then she shared this
That looks
one.
different than what we saw.
Different than that other hospital photo because it was like a side photo.
There's also this photo from a long time ago.
Aww.
Well, that
Can
other
I
one
ask a
said
silly
it was.
question?
And here's
Wait,
this
can I ask a
one.
silly
It's
question?
feet. Supposedly, this is what his feet look like.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Can I ask a silly question? Like a silly question? I just saw tattoos, right? And he's alleging he was kidnapped. When did he get the tattoos?
Yeah.
He's not saying he was kidnapped now, does he?
No,
he's
but that
old
was what the
clothes.
mother said, that he was.
Oh, back then.
I don't think, did he get that when he was 17?
He wasn't kidnapped.
That's the question I have.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but that was the story. I mean, like.
I know that
Yeah,
was
I know
the
what you mean.
story,
I'm just
but we
trying to say-
now know it was not true.
Yes. Okay. So my question is, when did he get the tattoos, and where did he get the tattoos?
Could have got it like just from a friend that didn't have to show ID while he was missing for the 8 years. He could have gotten it. Like, I mean, a lot happened in the 8 years. I don't think he was under lock and key the whole time, like he's saying. He is, I don't, or like Q was saying, I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he was
There's a
able
lot.
to walk the neighborhood and hang out with the neighbors in the garage. And
where did he get the money to pay for the tattoos? These
Right.
are kind of legitimate questions because he's got a big tattoo on his chest, and I think that's probably going to be like something, that local tattoo shop.
If it's
maybe
even
would be able to
Rudy,
answer.
if it's even him, who knows? I don't even know.
But I mean, everybody knows
could be
now it
someone
was a hoax, right? I mean, he was missing one day or 1 or 2 days.
2 days, they said. He came back after
Yeah,
2
2 days.
yeah, but and then mom's got everybody convinced that he's been gone like 8 years.
Right, because she made some money.
Mother's story. Yeah, the mother's story, I believe, was that he was walking into a field and a girl was about to be kidnapped, and he jumped in to save the girl from these sex kidnappers, like sex slave
the mother's full of
kidnappers.
shit.
And then eventually, and then the girl escaped, and he was taken instead. I think that was the story I heard, unless I'm hallucinating. That's what the story I heard. With the mother.
Where the dog, and then he was with that's why the dogs were like, he was with the dogs though, or no?
Yeah, and the dogs came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the
So,
all right, Tina's here. She's gonna tell. She said he's sick. So
Let me explain this real quick. That isn't him. This is what I'm saying. She went as far as they went to Los Angeles to go look to see if that was him. So you guys think that looks like him, right? Well, so did everybody else.
It
So
could
she
not
went
be
out
him.
there to identify him, but she made money on going out there.
Oh, got it. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So she went to
Are you
extreme
serious?
measures. Yes, sir.
So
that's like you guys are sitting here saying stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this
yeah,
woman.
I mean, she's a freaking liar. That's all she does.
So
Sounds like
how
a bunch
much
of different accounts.
you might know
right?
this? You might know this, but is there was there a second GoFundMe, or how much was the second GoFundMe or the first second GoFundMe? Like I know like I know GoFundMe I seen online was $2,000 that she raised, but I heard there was a second one.
I don't know about the second GoFundMe. I know that there were fundraisers, and I know the fundraiser made $2,500.
Okay. All right, we're gonna need Uni
So
Rock here.
this
He
picture
does
is
all the
of
fraud raising.
someone.
to fraud.
So this
whole
was
thing
supposed to be
up.
someone in LA, right? And she went to identify
Yes.
whether or not that was Rudy.
Yeah. And then there's someone in Mexico too.
When was this?
Sorry.
What year was that?
Give me one moment, please.
And you can't see the side that has his dimple on there, you know.
And she writes this whole long story. I had sent it to you, Queen, but give me 1 minute. She plays on everybody, and then they send her money to go and do things. But hold on, let me go get the date.
Somebody said she went to Chinese theater and Hollywood Walk of Fame.
So I have a question. So it kind of paints a picture. Like this is the scenario I have. This is the scenario I have in my head. The scenario is he runs away for the 17th. He's reported missing. The woman doesn't want to act. She starts getting like sympathy and money. She basically starts getting, and she does the fundraisers and stuff like that. But she wants to keep the possible fundraisings going, even when he came back. Proceeds to like just kind of go to LA, get the fake picture of this person or whatever, and proceeds to kind of milk it for years. The only question, and that's the scenario that most people believe. Yeah.
This was in June. No, let me tell you how bad this is, y'all. She got called because they thought that was him. He was unidentified. This guy is right here,
like a John Doe kind of thing.
Yes. And so she got called because he looks like Rudy. And so they reached out to
This was the private investigator that did this, right?
No, he was registered with NEMIC. And so they got reached out to, and they reached out to Janie.
Did she take Rudy with them to go find Rudy?
I'm sorry?
I don't think so.
Did she take Rudy with them?
No,
with her?
of course not. No, but she
I'm
took her
shocked.
sister.
I'm shocked.
She took her sister. You know, she had to take off work. She's very, like her sister said, you know, her sister went traveling with her to look for Rudy. So I know her sister didn't know. Maybe she did. I don't know, y'all.
Maybe she did. Who knows?
Tina,
I don't know.
who were the Good Samaritans that found him at the church, or was that not true?
Oh, yeah.
That's a lie. Come on. Anyway.
Well, that's what they said on the news on the first.
It's a damn lie. All of that's a damn lie.
So many lies.
Right, but what I want to know, because QUANELL X came in, was this also a ruse? And QUANELL X, I'm just allegedly thinking that this was all planned, like a big story, missing 8 years. They find him. QUANELL X comes in. And this is his MO. Maybe made a deal with the mother.
I'm not a QX lover. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. But I'm saying, and the mother, he could have made a deal like, we're going to make money on this. And then he changes everything. Like when he comes out and says that about Rudy. You know, because he sees it'll get more attention or whatever.
Like there was a long game in this whole thing, like for 8 years, you're saying? It goes back.
Yeah, and he would totally go against a mother. He's done it many times.
Q. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. The Q actually, he turns on people.
All the time.
On Malaya Davis's case in the beginning, because that is my case. I was the advocate. I made every flyer that was all over Houston for that. But anyway, he started out with the mother, and he knew the mother was complete liar, and okay, allegedly a liar. But I did talk to her, and she was cold as a cucumber and didn't care that her kid was missing.
That was horrible.
She was more worried about the boyfriend. So, and he was saying horrible things about Darian, and he lied to Darian also to get the information out of him
to
about
locate
Malia.
Malaya. But I mean, yeah, we got Malaya back. But he goes about things wrong in my opinion. He goes about getting the information wrong. Period. But he gets the
Obviously.
information.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know what he did with Rudy. I do not like how he did it. That's
That's different
wrong
though,
on
Malia.
every level. Every
She was
level.
actually
Yeah.
missing.
I mean, why would Rudy like open up so quickly about everything? If it was
If
like, you know how like they say abuse is sometimes hard. Like why? Like he all of a sudden he went to his truck with him. He's like, "Oh, cool truck. I'll tell you whatever." You know, like it's 5 minutes you gain trust with somebody. I don't know, right? I don't. There's things I
and he
post
was
about.
It's
recording
not
all
that he
that.
grew. It's not that he grew trust. Here's the thing: everybody wants that guy around,
When
and
you're
I
not,
don't know. I
Tina,
don't
when
know.
you're not talking, you have to mute. It's like really the feedback is fucking terrible. So just when you're not talking, make sure you guys mute. And when she's talking, make sure you guys stay muted so it don't bounce off you guys back to her. It's bad.
Yeah, Tina has all this like inside information just from being in that, right? And it seems like Tina's followed this case for a while, like before all this, Tina, or no?
I get it. I got in at 2 years, but I'm gonna go get back down, and then I'll come back up.
You sound good now.
Okay. I got in at 2 years, and what I've kind of figured out is that she'd go through people, and then when somebody else would pick up the case or start talking about the case again, then she'd start talking to advocates or whoever would start talking to her again. And I got in on that kind of level there when she came to a missing person day, and that's how I got in.
And this reporter, is her name Grizzy? Well, did she have a popular podcast, or where did she come from? Because she's the one that called QUANELL, apparently.
She does local news streaming around here. She does streaming online. I don't know. I don't watch her very often.
Yeah, I think for me, to go to how he was found, how QUANELL was called, and why. Because it's weird.
Probably like Mike. Probably if I was to guess, if I was to put the conspiracy tinfoil hat thing is probably Grizzy contacted him. He comes there because he's probably paying attention to social media like TikTok and stuff like that.
Oh.
He goes there, and then he makes the story about how the mother requested him to come there. Is the story, because who's going to fucking verify that fact? They're going to have to go to her. Yeah, he said that, but that's what I think is probably he got it from social media, but he probably is going to say the mother requested it, or he might be doing or he might have been contacted by Grizzy, then called up the mother. And then that's kind of like a lie of omission, like, saying who called up first. You know what I mean? Like he calls up the mother, says, "Oh, can I come over?" And then he does that. That's what my tinfoil hat theory goes into it.
Right, but he'd been missing 8 years.
Yeah.
A lot of people knew he was there. Suddenly, one day, all of this happens. Like, he's found by the news as a Good Samaritan. Who told the news that? And then QUANELL X is called in, and 2 days later?
Grizzy, she knows the mother, said that she had contact with the mother, that she had been talking to Janie. And then all of a sudden, she contacted QUANELL too. So I'm guessing.
Right, but how did
connecting the dots?
But so Grizzy had been talking to the mother. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure it out. Grizzy had been talking to the mother.
Wait,
I'm
I just
sorry.
need to tell Queen that you got a lot. You got a lot of feedback.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, Queen, you're a little crackly. Yeah, what is
See, there's just something at the bottom line of after 8 years, this happens.
Yeah, like what was the catalyst?
Catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. That's what I'd like to know, because that's where the answer is. Like, it is a big story. Everybody knows it would be a big story to find a missing person after 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my thing about all this, y'all. And this is why I got upset the other day. And this is what you guys are all here now. So let me explain why I got so upset. The missing person day that she came to is a lady named Joanne Lowitzer. And so Joanne is actually reacting, and I have the video of it because Joanne went on the news and she's saying how she feels. So I'm so glad she did a reaction video, that they got that. So I hope Queen will play it because it's in the back chat. Because I know everybody's thinking, you know, how didn't we know? How didn't we know? How we did? She duped parents, other parents that have missing persons. Like,
wow.
She was tagging those people, saying she was in all these other states, putting their flyers up in these states where she was. This goes deep. This isn't just a Tim Miller thing or anything like that. There were people long after Tim Miller that was around. And I love Tim Miller. And that's another man she hurt really bad by doing this, because his daughter was lost. And not cool to ever do that to a parent, period. But Queen,
His daughter was murdered.
Is there any chance that Rudy was missing on and off, like during the years? Maybe he was like like he would run away and then come back and run away and then come back. And I don't know. I'm just like thinking, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, how do we know that?
I think she was just scamming. She was using it, and probably it got so deep.
Yeah.
She needed a relief, and this would, you know.
Okay, let me just tell you what happened June 21st. June 21st. June 21st, they needed they needed help getting insurance right away. Okay. That was on the Bella page. All of a sudden, the next post was Rudy was found.
What kind of insurance?
Car insurance. A couple days after, like within 2 days after that, the car was stolen and totaled.
Oh, do you think
That's why
that's
Rudy
how
came
it got
home?
uncovered? Like,
the money.
Yeah, because I
That
heard there
was
was
the
a
catalyst.
scenario where I might have heard this, but there was a story that basically it was said that Rudy was driving the car, got into an accident, right? Is that correct?
There was a car. It got in an
I think that's
accident.
what Q said. I think that's what someone said. I
Yeah,
heard someone say
to be
that on there.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, it got taken on
So you
June
think
21st. He took it on June
Now, do you
21st,
think
trying to get away from her.
Do you think so are you saying that there's a possibility that she was just using this to get sympathy and money, and then because the story blew up, it kind of destroyed her plans a little bit?
Tim, I don't know what the reason is, but one day if I could see her face to face, I will be demanding to know what happened. Because Queen, can you play that video I sent you? Because that's Allie's mom, and she's she's going to answer questions for y'all as a mother of a missing person. Because I would like people to see her story. She's the one that I would like on your panel one day, and she said she'd come on your panel.
Yeah, I think Queen might be away.
Yeah, she's welcome anytime, love. The one you sent to me just now, or?
Yeah, it's in back chat.
Okay. Oh, it's in the back. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, she just made it for us?
Oh, no, it's Fox News.
No, it looks like a news.
No,
okay. For some reason,
the news media here is very upset about what Rudy did.
Can you put it back up here? I left and came back in, so it's blank. There's nothing here.
Like the local news media is upset, Tina, about what Rudy said to Q? I'm confused. We lost heels.
No, the local media seems to be upset with what's going on. But can you drop that link back here in the back chat? Because when I left and came back in, it cleared it, so there's nothing back here. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is from a news. Okay, this is from like a news. Okay, all right. I see what you mean. Okay, let me pull this real fast. Oh, you want me to pull all three of these? Oh, they're the same. Okay.
No, just one. We all just posted the same link. Yeah. We were just being
I
proactive, but we might have been not.
gotcha. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, there's 3. You want me to play all 3? But it's all 3 the same. All right, here we go. Well, we got this. All right.
Complicating things for families looking for loved ones who are truly missing. We have her mother, Joanne, here with us this morning. Welcome, Joanne. Thank you for being here. It's been such an honor to talk to you through the years because I just admire you so much as being a strong mom and an advocate for other families going through what you're going through. But we just can't help but wonder of how you're feeling when you watch something like this unfold, because you know the emotions of truly what it feels like to have a missing child.
I do. Thank you both for having me. It's been very interesting to see how all of this is unfolding. It's like we're getting new information every day.
Mm-hmm. How does it make you feel, this whole case? I bet your emotions, well, I know you said when he was originally found, quote unquote, you were so happy for the mother. And then all of this that's come out since, as you're still searching for your daughter who stepped off that bus in 2010 and hasn't been seen from since.
To be honest, I feel a little betrayed. Especially, with this being a local case. I try to connect with other families, and, we support each other. And, to find all of this out, it makes me sad and angry. And I just really feel for Rudy. And sometimes there's just no words to describe it.
It's just very confusing. And we were just looking at videos of just your precious daughter. You never have seen her since that day she got off that school bus. And I know it's still to this day is so difficult for you. But you remember seeing Rudy's mom at support events for parents with missing children, with truly missing children. You remember those moments of seeing her there?
I do. We have videos and pictures, with her and the other families. Some of her and her family attended Houston Missing Persons Day. And, it was normal.
And what she was wearing to you now to look back on it was shocking. Can you describe that? You have photos of this.
I do. It was on her t-shirt. Well, we try to, have t-shirts that way. It's the best form of advocacy. But she was wearing a picture of Rudy on her t-shirt with angel wings. Yeah.
Gross.
Prince HPD admitted that they looked on and off for Rudy over the years, but
yeah, she said they looked on and off, but then when he's like, he really wasn't missing that long, why would they look on and off then?
Money.
Mm-hmm.
There was no evidence of foul play necessarily, so there was not this urgency to find him and to put resources into it. How do you feel about how missing people are handled in general?
Well, from my own personal experience, I don't think that the cases are handled the way they could be. I do know that missing persons is very difficult, and almost each missing person has a different scenario. So it does depend on what the police think happened. Allie went missing 13 years ago. There was no evidence of anything other than her just vanishing. And so she didn't receive an Amber Alert because the law enforcement didn't feel like there was that type of urgency at the time.
Well, we just keep hoping and praying that someday you're going to get that lead that you so well deserve. I want to make sure while we have you here that we just clear the air, because there is some misinformation out there with other news outlets actually using your picture as Rudy's mom. You are very clearly Allie's mom. You are not associated with that case in any way.
I am not.
I was devastated when my friends and family started sending me links to articles with my picture as Rudy's mom. And I was just devastated because, well, it's I feel that it's damaging, you know, not to just my case, but other missing persons cases as well, when wrong information is being, you know, plastered across the internet. You know, it's, you know, you know how wrong news is out there.
Well, it's the danger of social media and of things spreading, and then somebody grabbed your picture because you did an interview about your daughter still missing, and then just linked it to this case.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that is not right at all.
No.
And so I apologize. I'm so sorry that that happened to you, that other outlets have grabbed your picture. But Joanne, you are always willing to come on, and as Melissa said, be an advocate for other people who have missing loved ones too. And I hope you get answers. We are always thinking of you. You're always top of mind to us, and you're always welcome here.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. That means I'm doing my job.
Yes. Thanks, Joanne.
Thank you.
Wait. I missed something. Can you, one moment.
I remember that case really well. Allie Lowitzer.
That puts everything in
Did
perspective.
they grab like?
What? Did you grab what? Uh-oh, somebody grabbed me.
I'm noticing the picture. Yeah, I'm noticing the picture. One moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like, did
somebody grabbed.
they mix the picture? No. Did they mix the picture of another missing mother with the and then post it on there?
With her, she said that she was getting.
Yeah, so right here it says mother of Texas teen who went missing for 8 years is accused of
Oh
essaying
my
her
God.
son.
Yeah,
And
it's horrible.
Look at her. That's got her face and Rudy, and that's not her son. And she never essayed any child. You know what I mean? And then it says forced to play daddy.
Oh,
forced to play daddy. Yeah, amid claims that she kept it hidden.
Horrible.
That's her face on that. I would be fucking pissed.
I've never heard of Hollywood Unlocked. Is that a popular?
Yeah, it's probably like what that is. No, well, probably it's just probably the AI generated news articles that basically grab a bunch of stories and they just link them. You know, like you see that with like
Yeah,
it just basically one person
Showing it. She said it was on Fox 26 News, and they kept showing. Oh no, this is Fox 26, but she said it was on the news, and they kept showing it. So now they have to show it on the news and make a correction. So the news is actually correcting it. Fox 26 is correcting it for her.
Yeah, because she would just.
Thank God somebody did.
Yeah,
because they're gonna get sued.
Messed up.
They're gonna get sued to oblivion if they didn't do that.
That's
crazy.
That just famous woman.
Hollywood again. Queen, I'm gonna hop down. I just wanted to give my unpopular opinion, and
Not
I
very
couldn't
unpopular.
type it. And Big Tim, I do hate you. I hate.
Oh, everybody does.
All right, y'all have a good day. I'll be down in chat. I'll be listening.
See you later.
Okay, I'm gonna. I'm gonna get down because I'm.
Tina, would you email me? You can look at any of my videos, and my email address is on the back or in the description. Because I want to talk to you about Allie Lowitzer case.
Okay, that's fine. Well, anyway, this is why I broke down the other day because, she hurt these parents, and that's what hurts my heart.
Yeah, it really does. It shows you like what the bad she's doing, because it like you could see how this mom, it like hurts her, like when
Yeah,
she's
it
like, wow.
affects.
Yeah, and she's showing up to events with them, like that's like, and being a fraud, like we're around other missing, like they're actually missing their kids, and your kid is at home. It's tough. Well,
So I'm
the
gonna
truth
get
will come
down.
out, about all
Thanks,
this.
Tina.
Bye, Tina.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. What a mess this thing is, right?
But for 8 years, I mean, it's so weird. People didn't. Just
Didn't know.
report. He's down the street. He's in my garage.
Right? Unless they didn't know, they weren't following it from the beginning, that enough time passed and the, the eyes, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't see how it would happen, but you just never know, these things
Yeah, I
happen.
make sure my neighbors knew about it. You know what I mean? Like flyers or door to door. It's just weird.
We lost.
Or maybe they just figured it wasn't active anymore. Like, yeah, they found him. He's at home.
Oh. Yeah, after a certain amount of time, if they did see him, or then,
Yeah, I thought people keep saying after 2 days. I don't know if that came out now or if that was something said back then. Because I think
it's a fuck story. No, like this is just crazy. Like the news media accuses a woman of a mother of a missing kid of being falsely on a news station. You got an activist with a questionable past. I'm saying that because obviously legal reasons. And
well, it's all documented. He's being sued all over the place.
It seems like it.
Yeah, I say questionable because I don't think we need another. So
No.
That's pretty documented. I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
Now you might say allegedly in this case.
I don't need Mr. Q. Yeah.
But Mr.
I don't want Mr. Q to send us a cease and desist.
No, that would not be fun. Not at all.
You know who Louis Farrakhan is, right?
Yeah.
That's who he is, like a follower, and
yeah.
And Louis Farrakhan is
shit. I'm gonna have to stop doing open
dishonest.
Panels. Huh? I said I'm gonna have to stop doing open panels. Fuck.
Why?
If I'm gonna be held responsible for whatever else is saying, I'm gonna have to stop doing open panels because I ain't about to be held responsible for other people's fucking mouth.
No.
Hell.
That shouldn't be.
If that's the case, then I'm done, son. That's it.
It's over. Party's over. Everybody go.
That's it. You gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
Sign the consent. You gotta sign the
closing.
consent form before jumping on this panel.
Yeah, there you go.
Voucher. What is it?
Put
What is it? The
emojis
waiver.
in
The waiver. You
chat
gotta sign
and
the
you're
waiver.
good.
Just like the Ocean Gate waiver. You gotta sign.
Shit. Whatever comes out of your mouth, you're fucking responsible for it.
Yep.
But I mean, I have a disclaimer on here anyway, so it's all good. But hold on. Loki Crime News said this case is crazy, and I think we read Brianna's here. Let's see, Nessie V last night. My hubby said start your own channel. Some of these I missed here. Let's see here. He's QUANELL, not a specialist. He is bound by the same laws? Asking. So they're asking, is he bound by the same laws?
I would think so.
So there was a detective in the room, right?
Thank you, Don.
Supposedly, allegedly, yeah. That's what he said.
I appreciate your love. Thank you.
But did a detective come out and say he was in the room?
Yes, the detective said yes, he was in the room. He said, he said it right on the
news conference.
Yeah, he said it right on the oh damn it.
News conference?
Press conference.
He came out and said, he was sitting right there, and he said, no, that's not what he heard. So
but QUANELL is now going to come out with a video today.
He said not entirely the truth or something.
He didn't say video, he just said proof.
He said it's not entirely true what he said, but he used the word entirely, which means like partially, could be, partially could not be, right? Because somebody brought that up, like a lawyer or something, that he said that. Like that entirely thing. True part.
Yeah.
That's like a word that they lawyer use, they use to kind of make things like, because it could be part of it was saying like he could have said one thing wrong, and so like officer said he conducted an interview and that was not entirely true. Yes, Remy.
Anyway, guys, I got to skedaddle. It's good talking to you guys as always. Skedaddle time.
Yeah.
Bye, Ellie. Bye.
Bye, Tim.
Bye, Queen.
We'll talk to
see you around.
Later.
All right.
Later.
I'm super maniac as Alexandra Joy Lowitzer, Spring, Texas, April 26, 2010. So
she got off the school bus, or she got on the school bus. That was the last time, and then she picked up she picked up her paycheck. There was rumor that she picked up her paycheck, but I know that area really well, and I remember all of that.
Wow. And she just
Yeah.
disappeared. Boom.
And she just disappeared. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
She
So
went.
sad.
Hold on. So she went to go pick up her paycheck, and then she never
Or
came
I
back.
think she never picked up her paycheck. I think that's what it was. But the last time they saw her was getting on the school bus. She was older. She's a teen. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then that's it. She didn't go pick up the paycheck. But there was a guy living really close to there that I kind of always thought was good reason that he was suspicious. But
Oh, they did have like a semi.
no, they didn't.
Or you.
Yeah. That's why I want to talk to Tina, because it's
Oh,
been
got
a
it.
while, but there was a guy that they found. She was wearing black tennis shoes, like a certain kind of tennis shoe. And they found one that looked like it, in his apartment. He moved out suddenly, and this tennis shoe was in a laundry room. And there was no other women's clothes. He lived by himself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it was right down the street.
Oh,
Very odd.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, there's more to it, but that's why I'd like to talk to Web Sleuth. Followed it really closely for a long time.
Yeah, so Tina is local, and is she in like law enforcement or was or something?
No, she
Or-
said she's
Oh.
an advocate. She does
Okay.
like see,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So
She knows a
Yeah.
lot about all this. It's interesting that she followed it from 2 years in, she said. That's crazy.
yeah, so she's
You
been
know.
following it about 6 years or so.
So and what she said about the mom, like kind of, definitely matches up a little bit. But like,
She
why?
met up with her. She met up
Yeah.
with her.
Oh yeah, she said that. Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy. That's freaking crazy that she was going to like missing kid events and what the
Yeah,
hell
she
is
was
going
like
on?
showing up, and then she would tag them on Facebook. Like she would leave, and then she would make a big, huge, long post on Facebook, and she would tag all the missing parents.
Mm.
Wow.
Then here's the picture of his feet. It's got a big sore on the bottom of his foot. See it on his heel?
Yeah.
It's an open sore, like a big open wound.
That could be anything.
I don't see that.
Like.
But
Yeah,
if he's like, right, I mean, it could be anything.
anybody's feet that they just
But
I
if
just see
he's
dirt.
if he's
It's so
out
dirty.
walking, if he's out
Yeah.
walking like in flip flops or anything like that, it could be anything. It could just be a blister from him wearing his regular flip flops. I mean, it doesn't
If
fucking
those are even his feet.
walking. Well, I'm just saying it doesn't mean he's been walking miles and miles and miles or nothing, Like,
Yeah. Could have hurt himself in the backyard. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, walking over to the garage or whatever, wherever he's been going. I mean, fuck. They said one of them ladies said that I guess he would drive the car to like the cul-de-sac and hide it or whatever. Like,
yeah. Around the back, go out a different way or something.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Willow even said this is crazy.
yeah, so he
No.
would park the car and sneak around himself.
Yeah.
The neighbor was like,
They parked it in a weird spot that was like you couldn't see, coming and going from it.
So she didn't have him like tied up or anything in the house. He was free to come and go.
No, yeah, that's why, like at the beginning, I was like, are they both in it together? Like,
Yeah.
I don't, or like, I mean,
It's a
which still could be
question.
a thing. Is he like trying to is he saying this so he doesn't get in trouble? Like, has he been so brainwashed over the years that he thinks he's gonna get in trouble for like what she said, what they're saying she said from the beginning, like what Q is saying, that he was like afraid because he ran away and that he was going to get in trouble for that, and maybe he just thought that all those years, and that maybe led to some mental issues, who knows, and drug abuse. I don't think she
Yeah,
was
but
feeding him drugs for years to get like mushrooms doesn't keep somebody like complacent. Mushrooms like doesn't keep somebody around. If anything, he would have like found a way to get out of there. But doing mushrooms, he would have had some like moments of like epiphany moments.
yeah,
Where he's
but
like,
that
what the hell
takes
am I
away
doing?
from the picture Quanell painted of this poor child being held with drugs, and you know what I mean? It made it sound
Yeah.
like he was helpless and she was just drugging him for 8 freaking years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what she made it. That's what made it seem like, exactly. But like, I don't. It's so hard to know. Why
But
would
if
he
you watch the
completely
video again of
fabricate
him,
that? Yeah.
he built up to the essay. Like
Mm-hmm. Oh
It
yeah.
was like sleeping with her, and then, she wanted him in the bed with her and to be like the father or whatever. And then people kept questioning it. And he finally says, well, what do you think if she wants you to kiss her on the mouth or something like that?
Yeah. That's all, and that made him uncomfortable. But he didn't really say
Mm-mm,
it. He just
he
implied
didn't.
it. He
Yeah,
implied it only implied it,
right.
like that he was like he did use words around, like words
Yeah,
that
he
could
heavily
be
implied it.
interpretive. Wow, he's really tricky, isn't he? That one with his
Yeah.
everything he does. With the
And
Kanika
before,
Jenkins thing, he like somebody was saying he was the one that said that there was a video of her going into the freezer, right? Or
right.
something. And there wasn't. And he was on the side with the mom, and then he just like dissed the mom. Do you know? Like how did he
Mm-mm, I got out of that
you
case so fast.
oh, you did. Yeah, that was a crazy. I only know
Mm-mm.
it from like I like looked back at it after it happened,
No, that
But
case blew up on YouTube. I couldn't believe how many um, videos there were, and it was weird because usually there's not that many on a case like that. And I mean, there were hundreds.
because there was so much video footage,
Well, I
there
think
was all that
somebody was
footage.
running a social media campaign
Oh, interesting.
because it was too many. I mean, it
That's
was,
what it says.
Maybe it
That's
was
what it seemed
Q.
like. It came out
Yeah.
fast. It was like they were pumping that shit was quick.
hmm and it was
Q
all
had
pretty much
something to
the
do with it.
same. The kids in the room drugged her, and
Yeah.
she went in the freezer, and
That there's
but there
video of
was
that.
video of her in
But not actually going into it, going
right,
into the kitchen, but not
right,
you couldn't see the freezer, but you knew that it was right there,
yeah.
from like I like looked Gray did like a lot of I like watched some of his stuff on it in like
Those,
retrospect. So I wasn't around, but if Q was involved with that, like I just don't like if he blatantly lied about that, like I just don't know what what he's capable of, or like what he feels he can get away with. Like you said, like look at the words he used. He just said like, oh, she would want to kiss me on sleep in the same. None of that could be like that could all be like totally
yeah, it made him
weird,
uncomfortable.
but
Yeah,
kosher. It could be weird and strange to us, but nothing crossed any lines. Yes, they crossed emotionally weird lines, possibly, but not like lines where they like where there's like
yeah. But
going to
then
be
5 minutes later, and I like him, but Ickenmel has slave written in the title.
yeah, I know. Well, other people did too because
I
it
know
was
they did,
words
but
that
that's the first
yeah,
thing I
I
saw.
know. Yeah.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
like,
I know.
he knew how, and that's what he wanted. I mean, that's what QUANELL looked. He got what he wanted.
He played it all out in a way. Like he knew, oh, well, this is the opportunity,
Yeah, he
But
didn't give
like
anybody time to tell him no.
so do you think Rudy didn't say those things to him, or is it completely planned between Rudy, mom, and Q? Like are they all like
I think
working as
Q is always thinking, and he's done this for so long. He knows exactly how to spin. And whatever Rudy said to him, he was probably thinking the whole time, how can I spin this? How can I spin that?
like it
And
could be like, oh, she wanted me around so much. I
yeah, she
became
wanted
like
me to sleep in the
the man
bed
of the
because
household.
yeah,
She was scared at night, so she slept. Like he could have left things out by like left out that she was scared, so he slept in there, or that like he was the man of the house now, and she said that because of the brother. I don't know. Like
well, and
he,
her husband too. Well, I think that
yeah,
was a
but
while
it wasn't.
before.
It was an ex though, but still, like it's like he lost a father.
Oh, he was an ex.
That's what Queen was saying. Yeah, that they were already exes at that point, but still to have like somebody, off themselves that's in your family, that affects no matter what, even if it's an ex. I feel like you don't know the relationship. Maybe they were great friends. I know people that are like great friends with their exes, and if they were to, off themselves, it would be really difficult, no matter if
But
they're
don't you
married or
think
not
if
married.
Rudy, don't you think if he said, my mother arred me for 8 years and there's a detective in the room, there
Yeah,
would be immediate reaction by
yeah.
that detective. You know what I mean? Like,
They would have had to. I feel like there's
yeah,
like isn't there a like a certain kind of, I mean, if that's being accused, like there has to be something done then. I don't know. There has to be
absolutely.
protocol for that. Like just like there's protocol, member with like Gabby Petito, they saw domestic violence, so there was protocol having to separate them. There has to be protocol for one
Yeah.
person saying she barred me for 8 years, but I don't think
Well,
he
look at the
said
girls in
that.
Ohio. The girls in Ohio, or Stacy, is it Stacy Dugard? They didn't just let the guy go until they figured out what was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if she was holding him captive for 8 years and was sexually abusing him, the detective's not going to just walk off.
Yes, he was tormented by the loss of the brother. That could throw you completely off, not even the dad, but together, no matter what, that's going to it could have been like, that throws people off, any kind of loss. It just like changes the complete dynamics in a family. And some people never recover from losing a sibling or a son, I mean, Mom and Rudy both were like affected. Maybe that,
Yeah, but Mom's done so much fuck shit. I mean,
oh my God, so much.
one
I
thing
mean, it
after the
sounds like
other.
it. I mean, not that this is like, it sounds like what Tina was saying, that it was like a scam in a way. If she was showing up to events for missing kids.
Right. And this seems
then,
like a scam to me. It's like after 8 years, wow, what a story. I don't think anybody expected the QUANELL X angle.
oh,
You know what I mean? Like it was just going to
yeah.
be,
Well, that threw everything off because I
yeah.
feel like, I mean, not off, but like, I don't know, made everything into question, because if it was just like, okay, he was found, like, okay, he's back with his mom, yeah, or what, then, or I don't know. And then he's just, because it creates like this danger situation, like he's
Yeah,
in
but then he'd
danger.
have to come out with a scenario. Where were you for 8 years? I mean, what kind of scenario? He was home. There's no way of getting out of that.
I mean, yeah, he would look like, I don't know, in much worse condition if he was I don't know, if he was on the street for 8 years than if he was in the home for, at least.
Well,
I mean, it
the
seems
only
like he was
choice
coming and
was,
going.
yeah. I think the only choice they had, QUANELL in his mind allegedly would have, is, yeah, he was at home and he was heard about his brother, and it'd kind of be a non-story. It's not like, it wouldn't be a big story.
Well, he just brought some facts to the story that were like, brought everything into question with them, with everything. That's all it did.
It's a bigger story.
It brought, it put like, you put like
So-
energy into a story,
One of the flyers, it says press conference. QUANELL X was joined by Rudy's family, community activists, and others, demanding that charges be brought against his mother immediately. And it has, let's see here, it says Sonia Parker is the founder, Parents Against Predators. Then we have Grizzly's Hood News. And then it says Dr. Candace Matthews, NBPN, National Minister of Politics. And then it says, let's see here, location, Houston, Texas, 7/7/23, time 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It says Rudy is going to be with them?
Just says Rudy's family.
Oh, Rudy's family. That didn't say anything for 8 years. Okay.
He's on the, yeah, but he's on the, here, I'll show it real quick.
Somebody said, I think the aunt, possibly.
He is, Susie, 100%, allegedly.
Oh, no,
I mean,
is she?
all anybody has to do is Google him.
Oh, my
That's
God. She's
hard.
going to go protest outside of whose house?
That's what he does. I mean, it'll turn into, there will be a bunch of people too.
Yeah, it's in like an hour and a half, the presser.
Yeah, he's got an email list that he could get. There was a little boy that was shot in Houston, and they blamed it on, there was another activist involved, and it was a big deal, and it was a lie.
Is it the Trayvon? Because he did something with Trayvon.
No, it was in Houston.
Oh, okay, I don't know. Oh, Trayvon.
He was shot in a car. His mother was driving, and the kid was shot and killed in the car. I have to think about who that was.
I know what you're talking. I know who you're talking. Where like like he drove off and he was still after he got shot. Is that the one with the taser that she shot him instead of
No,
a
it was a
taser?
little kid
Okay.
and the car was
Oh, a
his
little kid.
mom.
Okay, I'm thinking of somebody totally else.
No, it was a little kid in the car, and they said it was
Oh, little kid.
this
Oh.
activist said it was a guy in a truck, and they were describing the truck, and it was a white guy. And this went on for like a week. They were hunting this guy down, and it was all over. Celebrities, everybody was talking about it. And it turned out it was like, I don't want to say for sure, it was like gang members and that knew them, that knew the mother and the kids. Don't quote me. But I know that the activists were just pushing a narrative, and this guy was like, holy shit, I don't have anything to do with this. And it was just pushing a narrative pulled out of their butt. I wish I could think of her name.
Yeah, I
You
never
know,
heard of QX
you go
until
to
now.
certain neighborhoods and offer money, and you have people that would, you know, they need food or whatever, and they'll give them money to say stuff like I witnessed this or whatever. And that's the kind of people QUANELL will allegedly use.
Kind of go for. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like if you told me you're a lawyer, I'm going to look you up and see if you're a lawyer. He told families so many times that he was an attorney and he's not, and would get money from them, like retainer fees and all kinds of crap. Allegedly, it's in the paper, like documents. So he and that mother probably belong together. They're kind of cut from the same cloth.
Or yeah, the last night the aunties were referred to as cousins. That's why I was like, I heard something about cousins. I was like, who are the cousins?
Oh, now they have
Oh.
cousins coming out.
No, I think they just messed it up because I heard that too, and I was like, what? There's cousins too? Oh my goodness,
Oh, they were
everybody.
referred to.
But it was the aunties. Like, I think that's who's going to be at QX's press conference today.
So, yeah, it happens all the time. Say this, sign this, money. Yeah, because I mean it's hard time. Like BHB paper. Yeah, there's so much that goes, and he'll have a lot of protesters.
QX QUANELL does, you mean?
Yeah, QX.
I don't know. I have listened to you guys as I made my drive that I have to make every so often to deliver my items to their owners. And all I can say is if this is a scam, shame on the mother, shame on Rudy or Julio or whoever the hell he is. And if it's really, really a scam, then shame on Mr. QX guy because now you're exploiting a even worse situation. So that's really all I had to say.
That's what he does. That's what that QX guy does, it seems like,
Well,
right?
I mean, it's obviously a scam, or
Yeah,
you know,
or some
at least
sort
the
of
mother was
scam.
running one.
Yeah. I mean, how did the kid not know that he knew he was missing? So he had to know that, unless he really did think he was in trouble. But like the internet and stuff, like there was like a billboard of him missing. I don't know how he could not know. He's 18 or
Yeah, but
17,
he wouldn't
whatever.
get in trouble for being there. You know,
Right?
his mom would.
But maybe
For,
she friggin' who knows what she
yeah,
said to
your
him.
mom will get in trouble if you say anything.
I'll get in trouble at this point, she might have said to him, you know?
Yeah. And the neighbors say he acted normal. Like he would come over, sit in the garage with them, talk, smoke, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know. That's odd. You know what I mean?
That's
And maybe it
very
was,
odd.
unless it only started, 8 years, maybe that was like 3 years ago it started.
No, I
Who
don't
knows?
believe that an advocate
No,
would
they,
make trauma a headline. I don't
he's
believe it.
not an advocate. I don't know who you're talking
Right.
about.
He's
That's
an
the advocate.
activist. QX
Yeah,
is
he's
an
not an
activist.
That was
He's not an
something that
advocate.
yeah, that was something that needed to be cleared up. I was listening that it seemed like advocate and activist kept getting interchanged for the same meaning.
Yeah, he's a QUANELL X advocate.
Okay, so Glory just said that on the news last night, actually one of the aunties was really a cousin. Okay. Got it. It's a whole family affair. It seems like
No,
everybody's
unsupervised maniacs, not at all. Absolutely not. Like I said, even in the very beginning when we were watching
he's
that
not an advocate.
Rizzy gal, I felt guilty even just watching that, and I felt like he had been put on parade for all of those cameras coming out just to take a look at his fancy car. I felt like that was how he
Oh, he lives in luxury, believe me.
So no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in
Not at
luxury.
all. Nope.
Well, he's advocate and activist are very two different. We were talking about this earlier. Advocate and activist are different, very different. In my book, he's like an activist. You
Yeah,
know?
he doesn't advocate for. He advocates for himself.
Exactly. That's the only advocate that
He
I
really
mean,
should be called an exploiter because he's totally taking a situation.
Oh, definitely.
he's a tragedy pimp.
He is. He falls right in the category of tragedy pimp. And so then if that's an activist, which we have to refer back to, like Sally Graka, Sally that comes up from South Africa. She is a true activist. She comes through from apartheid. So, I mean, that is an activist. This is
But he calls himself
exploitation.
an activist. I'm saying
Well, you can
we're
call
not saying
yourself an
he's an
activist all you want.
activist.
I mean, Betty
Well,
calls
that's
herself
what.
an advocate.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, yeah.
Anyway,
he's like that's what
that's
he's
just
kind
my
of
2
like.
cents.
I think he actually calls himself a community.
Organizer.
Yeah, I think I think a community organizer, social,
like Obama was.
engineering, whatever. But he is. I think he does call himself a community organizer.
Well, and like I said, unsupervised maniac, you're not going to ever agree with somebody 100% of the time. Because if you agree with them 100% of the time, both of you need to check yourselves for toxic parasocial relationships. I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. And in this situation, this is something that's in my wheelhouse. I mean, we just had a whole big situation with the parade. And it's essentially kind of like this stuff. Like bad accusations were made in a joking way. And I mean, it could do major damage. So you just don't go out and use somebody else's trauma as your bread and butter. I can't handle that. That's like where I like, that's my line. That's really
Al
where my line is
Sharpton.
at.
But he's he's like more like Al Sharpton. I just looked online and said community activist feels, so I don't know. I mean, like think of Al Sharpton and what was his Farrakhan was one of his like
Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, that's who he follows. They're all Nation of Islam.
Nation Islam, yeah. So
that's what I was saying about him wearing that T-shirt. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything but a suit.
Well, he was like, "Oh, I was just called here in such a hurry that I couldn't. This is what I'm wearing."
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't know. Unless he was like, at the
gym.
It's
hot as hell, probably in Houston.
Yeah, it's really hot there. Yeah, there you go. Ego over empathy. That's so true. Just a sister. Sis. Yeah, Islam Brotherhood. And also like the new Black Panther. I don't know much about that.
Yeah, they kicked him out. He's not with them anymore.
Oh, they kicked him out. But okay.
Yeah, they kicked him out a few years ago.
I wonder what he did there. Do you know?
I think he was even too much for them.
That's crazy.
How do you get kicked out of that radical network?
Yeah. Well, he's got I don't know about right this minute, but he was being sued by a lot of people. Like even there was a class action, I think, against him. I mean, and these are missing children, murdered children that he does this with. But this seems like it's a total setup to me. What advocate, and we know he's not one, but for anyone to think an advocate would walk from the room where a victim just told them something, which you wouldn't be in the room by yourself if it wasn't in confidence, right? You would have just told it yourself.
Night he did say abuse. He did use the word abuse last night. I just remembered that on the Fox News interview.
Yeah, but not in that first press conference.
Yeah, Right. He said in different places. Oh,
Yeah, not in that first press conference. I think he was,
no.
yeah.
Last night in the Fox interview, in the sit down, he said that that day the mother overheard us and she was like, "You're not talking about the abuse, right?" Or something, right? Did you hear something like that?
I
Like
didn't watch the Fox.
Oh, okay. The Fox News thing did say something about that. When I was just saying that.
And they're all exploiting it. Even the news stations picking this up without verifying anything. Like they're not talking to Rudy or the detective that said it wasn't.
How do we know that?
Oh, I don't know. Did they say anything?
Independent thinker.
No, I mean, there's some kind of investigation going on. So,
No, I'm
right?
talking about the news channels that are having him on.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you know, without, I can't imagine how you don't think that was wrong. Like to walk straight out of that room.
Yeah, that was, and we were all like, what did you just say? I mean,
Yeah.
like, what the hell? I mean, total for shock value. And look what it created from that moment to
Exactly.
now. It created a big, crazy this, and that's what he wanted. And that he has his name in his news. Like people like me, I've never heard of him before. And now I know his freaking history a little bit, you know, like that's what he wants, right? Isn't that his end goal is to get more community activism roles in the future?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like
Promoting himself.
unsupervised maniacs, unfortunately, the only way to do that is binders, and I had to retire the binders because it got us in trouble.
You retired the binders? Oh yeah, because he was in. Okay, gotcha. Yep, I know the reason.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yes, Ellie. Play along, please. Play along.
But I just, as I was saying.
Not that I ever shared them publicly with anybody,
Everything
and they
we
didn't
say
have the
here is
information
allegedly.
that. Well, and
Yeah.
they didn't have the information in it that she thought that they have in it, but okay, whatever. I had
always
to
thought
retire my binders currently.
I thought they were a joke anyway. Wink,
Well,
wink.
Nod, nod. That's all they are. Don't leave this yard, Mason. Oh shit! Sorry, hang on. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's probably going to be a Netflix and a Lifetime.
Right. Well, didn't they say something about that? That like there was some kind of communications with Netflix, Lifetime about something. I mean, that's like this sets this up for
sure.
that. Even if like, okay, it ends up being nothing, but there's still like, okay, now there's all these sides to the story that everybody wants to hear. So is it going to be sit downs, like interviews on like Good Morning America or like 2020? I mean, like, where do they go from here with all of this? Like if it ends up being.
If this comes out on mainstream media, can you imagine how gross? Like,
it's already
here's
there,
the thing that upsets me is.
Yeah, it's already on the. If it was on, what was that local Fox?
It was on News Nation and it was on that Fox.
Oh my God!
But Fox,
that's
like,
right.
Fox 26
Cuomo
Houston.
did it.
I'm more thinking about the precedent that this sets. Like, ugh.
The president way.
The precedent that this sets.
Oh, precedent.
Precedent, yes, not president. Like,
well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Precedent.
That all of this. Gotcha.
Well, what do you mean? The precedent? What's that? Like for what?
Well, for scamming, and then something like this opens up QUANELL to be able to get a better foothold using a scam as a way to act like an activist. I mean,
write a book about it.
Exactly.
Maybe they have a real long game, all of them. You know,
right?
Who knows?
It's not about
my
the
story for the last 8 years. You know, is 8 years.
Right,
story,
right.
You know,
this isn't about the short, quick resolution, the outcome of what happens. It's about like the long game in this.
The long game.
And it does. It'll set a precedence. Yes.
Like maybe she had little fundraisers here and there, but she was always waiting for the big payout at the end of the road with like Cornell. Not that she knew he was.
Well, I didn't know about
that. I'm not quite ready to start.
I'm just saying
articulating yet. So thank you. I'm almost there.
I didn't know about the insurance thing. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, like so how long would it have to be that he's declared missing to be presumed, dead? And maybe
7 years,
that was
well,
there you go. It's 8 years. That's interesting.
I wonder why she didn't do that.
Have him declared dead, because some people go right at 7 years and have him declared dead. Like the one I've been following recently, the Molly Miller Colt Haynes, it's like 10 years old now. But right at 7 years, Molly's parents had her declared deceased, so that then it turns into a death investigation rather than a missing persons case.
Well, and they also get insurance, don't they? If they had life insurance.
I don't know exactly how that
If
works
they
out,
had
but I
life
think so.
insurance.
Yeah, if they had life
Yeah.
insurance, I think
It would
that.
be released,
If.
I think that's what I've heard in the past. Did you see what Allie Catcher said? There's an interview later with Brian Enton with her private investigator. Who's private investigator? The mom's? That'll be interesting.
That's why I was asking on that flyer earlier. At the bottom, it said somebody Rentera, private investigator. It wasn't from the police. The one where he was in the bed with the oxygen from LA. That flyer was made by a private investigator.
Well, unfortunately, unsupervised maniacs, anything is possible in this day and age. Like, my question is, everybody keeps acting like this guy is mentally
I think Rudy
delayed or
could.
challenged or anything.
I think he could
What
be
if
involved.
he's perfectly normal? What if he's perfectly
He could be
normal and he went in
completely
on this one?
involved in this whole thing. Yeah, I think he could be. From the beginning, I was like, he could be in on the scam with the mom. Who knows at this point? I mean, or he could be a victim. Like, we don't know. Like, we don't have enough information. So you can't, like, it's hard to know. You can't, like, you at one point, you don't want to, like, just feel bad for him because maybe he's not a victim at all, right? Maybe this is just all bullshit.
Yeah, Bullhorn Betty's debt. Grizzy stated all these rumors about money, and they are asking for no money from anyone. I haven't seen them ask. Well,
there was two different things. Like, Rabbit was talking about the second. Remember, we were talking. The first one was like for $2,500, and then the second one she said was medical expenses for $10K. Did you?
No, but I know she was asking for money for different things, like to fly to LA.
To see if that.
Yeah,
that guy
probably
was-
throughout the 8 years, she's had different little things that she
yeah.
would need to do. Yeah.
Plus, not only that, but there's always 1,000 people that are out there willing to give money, just PayPal, Cash App, whatever,
right?
just to be
Yeah.
like, hey, help keep your lights on this month, take a little stress
for
off
dinner.
you, do something nice for yourself, go get
Yeah.
nails done, have some nice food, something like that. There's always people that do stuff like that. I mean, I'm speaking on experience. Well, there's the sad fishing aspect of it, and then there's people like y'all that cared, and I had different people throughout the last week and a half that, there was $5, $10, a $25 donation came in via Cash App and PayPal because you just care and you know that there's other expenses that are affiliated with those types of situations, So what about the bleeding hearts that don't ever, the people that don't truly let the right hand know what the left hand's giving? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we're supposed to, one hand's not supposed to know what the other hand gave.
I got to hop off real quick.
Maybe this was always like the end game in a way, like when they got caught to like say that he was, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, like we were saying before, like there was always like a plan.
And like I said, I want to know what Rudy's mental capacities are. From everything that we've heard, the neighbors say he could speak. He, he had the ability to differentiate between happy days and sad days. Sad days, he would be distant and isolate. Happy days, he would be around. He would hang out. He hung out in the garage with the boys, chilled with the one lady's cousin or daughter or whomever, whichever family member it was. I mean, they obviously didn't think he was off, didn't think he was slow, anything like that. And we're being presented somebody who it almost sounds like has some form of autism or nonverbal communications or developmentally delayed. I'm trying to say those words in the nicest way possible, not trying to be an asshole. So something like that, how do you know?
Yeah, you don't know until you know. I mean, because we don't really, there's no story from Rudy. There's no story from the mom. There's all like the aunts. And,
right.
like,
And now Q,
QUANELL.
and then if Q was able to tell
another
us.
press conference at 5, so.
It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Like an hour and a half my time, so I'm going to jump off here. I got to make a couple phone calls and get some stuff done. But then we can pop. I don't know if I'll be back on at 5, but I know if you guys want to, we can pop back on later. You know what I mean?
Watch it. Yeah.
Friday night, talk shit.
Oh yeah, it's Friday night. I can't believe it's Friday. This whole week felt like a Thursday or something. Like I don't know, every day seems off because like Tuesday and Monday, and I'm so confused what day it is. I can't believe it's Friday.
Yes, and then Monday I go pay the attorney and then I'll be going to pay him to take care of my stuff with her and counter sue. So.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh good.
So Monday we'll get it started. We got this weekend to get shit together. So.
Cool.
And then we get it started. You know what I mean? Like I said, once I go pay her, we get it started, get it going, and then it doesn't matter. I mean, if she drops out, or she can say she's done at any time. But once we counter sue, she got to stay. So,
yep.
It is what it is. You opened up a can of worms.
To back
pretty
out.
much once I go pay for this attorney, I'm not stopping. So it is what it is at that point. If I gotta waste money, all right, y'all have a good night. I will catch up with y'all after a bit.
Okay.
We got this. We got this. We got this.
Definitely.
Later,
Bye,
y'all.
guys.
Bye.
I'm gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Love yous. Bye, y'all. Have a good night.